Hello and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Before we jump into the action, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All of those things help us out tremendously. If you're interested in supporting our community a little bit further, consider becoming a member here in our YouTube channel. Memberships start at just $2 a month, and you gain access to some really cool emotes. Lastly, if you are interested in joining our community and playing in any of our games, we currently have between 2 and 3 open slots available in the Tuesday early game, and we have 1 open slot available in the epic level Friday evening game. If you're interested in any of them, be sure to reach out and let me know. You can do so through my Discord, which is ProDM Joey. Hi, I'm right there. Or you could do so through our Patreon, which is listed down in the description below. Without further ado, go ahead, Thorndil.
Barondale.
Yeah, Dill.
What's it called? Non-multilinguals. All right. Well,
I speak Merkin.
so last time we had we finished a year of downtime after the events that took place in Rexentrum and our fight against Trent and his minions. So, during that downtime, a bunch of stuff happened. I'll not get into all of it, but Lily was spending a large portion of it constructing some kind of generator machine thing. And we started off last session with her, as she was about to conduct her first, starting up of this machine. It didn't go that well. There were some calculations that were apparently off, but something did happen. Two things. First, she set off what will apparently become a meltdown in about 6 months. But she also managed to break through to a pocket plane that contained a wizard that had been trapped for several centuries. This is a wizard who's named Tharandil, and he is now my character. So he stepped out of this magnificent mansion that he'd been trapped in for a while, and after a bit of getting to know each other and trying to figure out what happened, he was able to help Lily's apprentice with doing some calculations to figure out exactly that it was 6 months until this meltdown that will occur. So we realized there's a few things we need to prevent this, and coincidentally, some of these things are also something that he has been, Tharandil, that is, has been looking for in order to finish his work on a magical item called the Sphere, which is apparently something he's been working on to stabilize realities or something of the sort. I guess you'll find out in game. But we decided we should, we would need some help in tracking down a few of the things we needed. First thing we decided we needed was something called, bark of a pinnacle forest, or a pinnacle tree. And in order to point us in the right direction, we contacted Silrin, the archdruid, who was apparently somewhere up in a blizzard outside of Uthadern. We spoke with him for a little bit, and he pointed us in the right direction. Let's see. I don't remember exactly where. Oh yeah, we're heading to Marquette. And and we also spent a while at the Lyceum, where we spoke with who was it? The professor of conjuration.
Yes, that was Vorin? Vorin
Um,
Thorn? That
yeah,
one.
Vorin
right,
Thorn.
Thank you.
right,
Sorry, I have a lot of professors right now.
right. And yeah, we also exchanged some pleasantries between him and Tharandil, because Tharandil used to be, back in the day, an apprentice to a kind of legendary wizard guy named Arendir Starweaver. But he's dead now. So yeah, I sold him. I sold the professor Arendir's journal and got a rather hefty sum out of it. So yeah, last thing we were doing was heading off to Marquette, I believe.
Well, people wanted to do some things here at the Lyceum first.
Ah.
So, are you ready, Miriam?
Yeah.
You start walking through the academy, and the attitudes of everybody in here immediately shifts and changes while you are walking down the corridor. You see many of the students who were slacking off or, hunched over in their studies straighten up immediately as they see you and become instantaneously on edge because of your new status. You also notice a handful of teachers as they are walking by who show you a proper amount of respect with a head nod in your direction and smile. Every single one of them stopping to go, Professor, Professor, Professor. And it becomes tedious at some point as all of this is happening and every single person is reacting to you like this. Once you break out into the Grand Hall, everybody, you see the magnificent spiraling staircase that heads up towards some type of observatory that is unseen by any of you thus far, and various different offshoots of this spiraling staircase that heads into different wings and areas for practice, for study, for extracurriculars. Everything that you could possibly need existing on this campus for the students. Thorndil, or Thorndil, for you, it is magnificent to see this many academics. I mean, clearly that means the mages won, right?
Right. Huh. So, are we walking together now with all of us, basically, or?
Yeah. You guys are
Yep.
walking out to head to where you want to be, but you're walking in that general direction.
I can't help but notice that there's quite a few wizards here. It's good to see. I thought of, well, this cataclysm you mentioned. I still don't know exactly what it entailed, and I thought, well, most wizards or, well, it sounds rather serious. I'm looking at Miriam.
All right. So, if you're referring to what we refer to as the Calamity, it was 100-year war with the gods that killed most magic societies on the face of Exandria. The Lyceum is one of the relatively new in that regard, being founded, I believe, just after that, Joey?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, it was nearing to the end of that was when the Lyceum was founded, and the Lyceum survived through that as well. that's one of the reasons it is the most renowned mage college in Exandria, the foremost mage college.
Right. Well. War against the gods, you say, but the gods, they were, well, quite weak back then. Really. I mean, relatively, compared to what I've read they were supposed to be earlier, back in the day. I mean, before my time, sort of.
The gods fought themselves and through their proxies on this plane.
Damn gods.
Which is why we now have the division of prime deities who took the side of humanity and those known as the betrayer gods who wanted to wipe out mortal kind, not humanity. Sorry, I always get that.
Yeah.
So these betrayer gods, you say, are they still alive then? Or, I mean, it sounds like it.
They are. Very much so.
So is this war in some sense still ongoing then, or?
You might say it was. I believe that's more of a theological debate, but I believe for our plane of existence, it ended in our favor with the creation of the divine gate, which keeps all greater beings away from the material plane, both the prime deities and the betrayer gods, as well as anything else of their level of power.
That, and it's very hard to cure an idea.
Right. Huh. So they're cut off then.
I mean, there are still clerics and paladins of various deities.
Hello.
Right. Understood. Huh. Just,
Who has the good passive in the party?
I have a 20 passive.
Okay.
I mean, I think it'd be Lily.
Oh, 26. Okay, yeah, that's what I was asking. The person who's like kind of absurd. You notice that there's a student maybe about 25 feet back from all of you who is walking with their eyes closed right now and jotting down notes with everything that Miriam is saying.
When you say eyes closed, do you mean like it's kind of like the anime character eyes closed, where their eyes are closed, but they can still see everything, or?
No, not the racist eyes closed. Like they're actually eyes closed.
Ah.
Where's the familiar?
Oh, actually, that is a good point. Lily would like to look around real quick to see where the problem either familiar is or.
It's easy enough. There's a small little hummingbird that's flying over all of your guys' heads.
Lily is going to try to sort of. I don't know what the perception of a hummingbird is, but Lily's going to try to just kind of break off from the group ever so slightly, like subtly, and then make their way over to the closed eye student without them knowing.
Roll a stealth check.
Fuck. Well, then again, I am going infiltrator armor.
They're also got their eyes closed, and if they're connected to their familiar, they can't hear anything.
Well, no, but they still see through the
familiars who you're hiding from.
Yeah, they're using the familiar senses for stuff.
But hummingbirds aren't terribly perceptive, Just don't be an utter failure with this check. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but Lily's not utterly stealthy either.
Oh.
That.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hummingbird. Like, what's a bird's stats?
The hummingbird doesn't have that big of a negative on wisdom. Most animals don't. It's the only stat that's pretty good. Their intelligence is really low. But it definitely watches you walking away, and a moment goes by, the student opens their eyes and just turns to walk into a different room.
Lily immediately catches up. Hi, buddy. How's it going?
Hi. Hello. Lily, fellow student. How are you?
That is Professor Dr. Lily. Thank you very much.
You're not wearing the proper robes. We heard Miriam got a
Anyways.
promotion. You're still a student, right? You didn't even like get your gen eds done yet, have you?
Ah! Yeah, you left before school even started.
Well, let me just give you some advice as a fellow former
Oh,
student.
I'm a third year. I'm your upperclassman.
Be careful because with arrogance comes really big wedgies.
What?
Anyways.
Certified college dropout.
God
She
damn
went to
it.
go work in the fucking tech industry and got a job.
It's-
You know, like,
Exactly.
like honestly thinking about it, yeah, she did technically like leave before finals and stuff for this adventure, and then just went off straight into business.
Hey, technically, you have access to 4th level spells, so you're a 4th year, technically.
Well, she's successful with her shit. It's just
yeah.
she's technically a dropout.
You have
you're
to
right.
actually attend the school to get, graduate and into higher classes.
She doesn't have the accolades on paper. She's just got it in deed.
Yeah.
Anyways, right. Well, you wanna talk to my brother?
Oh
seem
no,
like you wanna
I'm
talk
I'm
about it.
perfectly happy just listening to the plethora of knowledge that this professor is handing out.
You know what? You're right, and you would get so much more if you were closer to here.
No.
And then Lily, like, she warned him she's gonna grab him by the top of his underwear and
Oh,
kind of give
no.
him a wedgie
Alright.
as she drags him over
Opposed
to Miriam.
athletics, he has a -1. Oh, wrong
Ah.
one.
About any groundbreaking information, have I? That's all common knowledge. Not common knowledge.
Not common, but it is still. If you're an academic, you like this stuff. It's what
Okay,
you
okay.
aspire to.
I'm gonna
Oh.
flash of genius.
No, you're the aggressor. You already won. I said they have a -1.
Oh, okay.
You're a fucking wizard. Like,
Hey, I'm the strong
So-
wizard. I have a 0.
yeah. So all of you hear a very high pitch "Ah!" from the classroom as Lily's dragging out this student by their underwear.
And here you are. Don't mind us. This student was just curious and wanted to learn, as all good students do.
A
Lily-
teacher walks out of the classroom. Put him down immediately.
Professor
Immediately.
puts him down.
You should mind to show some respect to your upperclassmen. And they whack you in the forehead with a ruler. They then turn to you, Miriam. I understand that you are new to this position, but please make sure that you make sure the people with you show some decency and respect to our students.
Of course, Professor.
And you're saying this is the most serious institution of learning in this day and age?
It was.
This place used to be fun.
The teacher begins walking away. And Lily, and those of you with 20 passives, looking around the corridor, you see many of the students and teachers did have to jump and be at the ready because they're authentically concerned at how deadly all of you are.
Yeah, we're kind of a problem. We also kind of destroyed an entire school single-handedly.
Hey, but it wasn't this school.
Yeah, but we could.
Yes.
Right.
Apparently, I will not be held on those charges.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Hey, is there any proof?
Yes, we have the entire building full of bodies.
Yeah, that's not proof you did anything.
Bodies.
Proof requires
were-
witnesses. No witnesses were found.
We have the students. We
Oh,
checked the
never mind.
students
Yeah, I
out.
forgot you guys left witnesses. Bad.
Yeah,
Oh.
Lily's gonna.
That's the Bernie
af-
influence.
After Lily sets this student down,
Yeah.
she's just going to be she's going to be like, my apologies, Mr. Upperclassman. But
Thank you.
you should make sure that you are a bit more upfront with your stuff, and if you have questions, You should ask them to learn more and not say arrogant prick stuff like that. Lily says under her breath.
Ah, how rude and ignorant all these students are. And the teacher wanders back over towards their room, but yeah, you can tell there's a much more serious atmosphere with everybody when it comes to your group now because of how insanely powerful you are by comparison to everybody else here.
Right, well, since I don't want to spend as much time here anymore, Mirren, good luck. I'm gonna leave you to go check your office and stuff. I still have my appointment with Allura. And Lily will split off to go to that at one point.
With Alora?
Yeah, remember she asked for Allura, the Archmage of Abjuration?
Azora.
Oh, Azora.
Oh, Zora, sorry.
Azora,
I thought,
yeah.
I thought you said
No, Alora was one of the members of the Tal'Dorei Council.
But also,
Can you go with her to make sure she doesn't kill anyone by accident?
Could you say let's go with her? The whoever you named, did it come through?
Yeah.
Miriam.
Oh, so I didn't do.
That is correct. Yeah. Adendu?
Sorry,
Good talk.
what was that?
Miriam's asking you to go with Lily so she doesn't kill any students on the way to her meeting.
God, what?
Oh, yeah,
What do you
sure.
think of Lily? Jeez.
You have literally caused the first arcane meltdown in history.
Hey, all I did right now was just give a student a wedgie because they deserved it.
And you are capable of literally killing him by doing that, possibly.
Oh shit.
All right. If he was a first year, yes. As a third year, he has enough hit points not to die to a wedgie.
That would be humiliating way to die. It's like, how'd you die? Died by wedgie.
But granted, she's the only one that you know of who's created this.
In recorded history.
Because all the other history they fucking died from the meltdown.
But yeah, come on, Lily.
Oh.
I shall be your own personal guardian.
Perfect. What were you saying, Bernie? Or sorry, Thorndale. Fuck. I'll get into the groove of it.
No, I wasn't really saying anything. Just standing by the sidelines, just looking at what everyone's talking about. And Lily, if we could probably make some kind of wedgie spell at some point. It shouldn't be that hard. Maybe.
Oh no.
Mage hand combined with some, like a hint of reverse gravity and some telekinesis. That should be fine, maybe.
A student looks at you and goes, "Catapult."
Oh my god, that's right. You're scribe. You can make spells. Easy.
Power word,
Probably
mass
a
wedgie.
great name for it. Hershey Kiss.
What?
You see, one of the more mischievous students is now liking your idea a lot.
Look, all I can say is let's just be glad Lily doesn't know banishment.
No, she doesn't.
Actually,
That's a fairly basic thing.
that's a good question. Was there a problem growing in the college for fourth years of students banishing others away from the Lyceum?
Technically, I don't think banishment would work in the Lyceum.
I mean, you'd probably have to ask the Archmage of Abjuration here. Since banishment's an abjuration spell.
Well, banishment is it can be a kind of a handy way to get access to tuning fork materials.
You're not wrong.
Well, yeah, it's a bit difficult to anticipate where they'll end up, though. But I seem to recall there are some. Well, yeah, there were some who were trying to make a. Well, I don't have the specifics of it, but like a specific banishment where you could like banish someone directly to a specific place.
Like a plane ship.
I could probably look into it if you would.
One of the best ways to do it is charm person and teleport with them. Because they're willingly your friend.
Right.
I believe you can teleport somebody who's unwilling, correct?
Teleport?
Or is that plane shift? Plane shift can be unwilling. I know that.
I believe it's plane shift.
Okay. Where they get a saving throw instead, because, you know, balance.
Yeah, it's plane shift because the Rock Sasha has that ability.
You know, I remember there was a fellow student of mine who was, well, he wasn't exactly banned, but he was admonished for doing something with, well, you know how it's possible to conjure or summon various extraplanar entities, right?
Of course.
Demons and devils and such. Well, he figured what prevents them from being able to summon a mortal. So he started doing some sort of like interviews and trying to figure out that. But it was shut down quite quickly. Apparently, the headmaster didn't like the idea of devils being able to summon various mortals.
I mean, if they could, they wouldn't have to make pacts with people and rely on people summoning them. So clearly there is something stopping them from doing so.
Yeah, perhaps some... Yeah, perhaps there's something to that whole thing with the gods and the divine gate, or what you called it.
Mayhaps. Although I would imagine devils would be great for historians, though. Having access to all the damned souls, limitless
Right.
supply of knowledge.
Yes, well, there are some devils that are more academically inclined, you know. Of course, they also like souls and all that thing, but it's like there's a variety of devils and demons. Well, not so much demons, they're usually just assholes.
Just like there's a variety of gods for various different fields of worship.
Right. But anyway, I was thinking, Miriam. Do you want to? I would very much like to exchange notes, as it were, if you will allow it. Like, you look at mine, I look at yours. Spellbook, that is.
I would be very interested in examining your spellbook, yes.
Right. And as a token of, I suppose, friendship, and also a bit of an apology for that slight outburst earlier, you could borrow this too if you want. It takes a while to read it, though. Shouldn't be.
Or what?
Oh, it's a tome. Tome of Clear Thought.
Would I have any idea what that is before identifying it?
Oh, yeah.
How the hell do you have this?
Oh, it used to belong to Master Erendir. When he died, I simply inherited it. I've already read it a few times. Last time I sort of wasn't that much new to learn from it, really. But you can have a look if you want.
Just so I make sure I know exactly what this is. This is a thing that raises stats every 100 years, right?
Yep.
Which one is Clear Thoughts? Is that just intelligence?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. How do you think Thorondil got so smart?
He used to just be a janitor.
Yeah, he
No,
just kept
just-
raiding it every 100 years.
His master's.
I actually love that for a
hell did that book
backstory.
go?
An elf that was a janitor couldn't make it into the mage college, just sealed away and read the tome every 100 years.
That can't bring you above 20, right?
Yes, again.
No, it,
Yeah,
it can go above 20.
Yes.
It increases your
fuck.
maximum and your, yeah.
Yep.
Which is why I should go to Lily. Ah.
Yes, I would greatly appreciate the ability to study such a tome. These are quite rare now. Almost legendary.
Oh, well, I suppose. Well, if you do read it, though, it loses its magic for a while.
About 100 years, if I understand the research.
Right.
You said you read this multiple times?
Well, I mean, I had it with me. Yeah, I've been locked away for 800 years and more, you know.
Right. Yes, I would greatly appreciate this exchange of knowledge.
Well, sure.
I also have several other books that I claimed from some Imperial mages back when we had the war with them. In case you find the spells in my book a little too focused.
Well, it would be interesting to see what sort of how the spell work has developed for a while.
That is going to be a group chat thing of what spells we have.
Yeah, we're not doing that during the session.
I'll start adding Therodil to the telepathic bond. Just invite. You've been invited to telepathic bond. Do you accept?
Yeah, 1 month free trial.
Okay, so yeah, let me. One sec.
I keep forgetting I need a 9th level spell to do that. All right, and while we're doing this, Lily's meeting a professor.
We're about to meet your student in your office.
Yep.
Who wants to go
Multiple-
first?
I think you should go first. You're already there.
Sorry, I'm actually DMing Ilvorn to get a point of clarity of
Right,
something. Yeah, like you messaged that while we were starting the game, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm okay with you
yeah.
of reading it to put you up to 22, but definitely not. Yeah, I have a 30 intelligence now. Haha. Like
All right.
that's
Fair
no,
enough,
no,
all right.
no way in hell I would have.
Is it better by 1 point or 2 points by reading?
That's why I asked
2 points.
if he could have used it during the time in the.
Yeah,
but
but roleplay wise, yeah, I've read it a few times. You used to be nowhere near as smart as you are now.
And if I
Yeah,
remember
That's
fair
just what
Yeah.
it is, you know.
it does take like a whole week of like or maybe a couple days of just nonstop reading it though, right?
I think it's like 12 hours a day for 7 days.
Yeah.
It's
Something
based
like
off
that.
of hours. You can look it up in the compendium.
Tome of Clairvoyance, right?
Clear thought.
Clear tone.
Clear thought.
Clear thought.
You need to spend 48 hours with it over a course of 6 days or fewer. So basically 2 days studying straight.
Well, in that case, I might still want to study it myself.
Hey now.
And watch as all
48
the
hours
smart
across
people
6 days, yeah.
go to war over it.
Look at that. Every student in the academy now wants it because they're listening to your conversation. Everyone, kill them!
I mean, the Lyceum has to have at least 1 or 2 of those books somewhere hidden.
Probably.
Yeah, in the forbidden section of the library. Only Lily knows about it because she always sneaks in there.
Because
for some
that
reason.
knowledge is incredibly dangerous. But yeah. However you guys want to work that out, that's fine. But like, having you have already used it multiple times, that's that's asking for a disaster on the DM side because
Alright,
your
yeah,
spell
fair
save
enough.
DC becomes 25.
Yeah, that's true.
But Joey, at least he doesn't have a high AC this time.
Yeah, he moved his AC into a spell save.
Yeah.
Fucking min-maxing glass cannon, son of a bitch.
That was pushing mage, you know.
Sorry,
Oh
you
no,
said
I'm
squishy
so
mage.
squishy with 2 healers.
Well, no, I just remember Palpatine, the Palpatine meme, like, I'm so weak, unlimited power.
So anyways, Lily, you were walking down the abjuration hallway trying to find the proper room. Roll an investigation or persuasion if you want to ask students, hey, where's the room? You know, stuff like that. And roleplay.
Oh, I thought Lily would have known where it was.
Why? Were you studying abjuration?
Well, no, but I figured that because abjuration is like the protection against magics and such, that Lily would have taken a couple classes with it due to being artificer.
You didn't officially go to school.
Yeah, you passed orientation and then decided to act like you were Miriam and ran off.
Fuck.
Yeah, you guys did not do a whole lot.
I actually ended up in school like maybe what, a week?
Yeah.
And then found out you left.
Yeah, and he doesn't even know where the necromancy wing is.
I mean, Lily can put two and two together. There's usually like a school map.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
You start looking around, and eventually you do find this very large lecture hall that looks to have a very kind-looking woman currently working. Not lecturing, like setting up for a lecture.
Oh, so it's not in the middle of class. It looks like it's getting ready
Just setting
for
up.
one. Right. Yeah, I guess if I'm going first, Lily will approach her, in a way that's like not to interrupt what she's doing, but to, you know, like a student coming to inquire about something. Excuse me, are you Professor Azura?
They look
Archmage
over.
Azura.
Is this one the Archmage? Let me look at
I
my
thought
notes.
you said it was the Archmage.
Yeah, because you.
Yeah, Archmage would have been the proper way to refer to them.
Oh, then
Yes.
Lily would have said
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yes, I am. How may I help you?
I'm sorry to interrupt you in your preparations for class. I have a matter of some urgency I would like some assistance with, and I figure that you would be the best person to go to this for.
Very well. I believe I have 5 minutes. What do you need?
More than 5 minutes to explain, but can we have our meeting in a, when will you be free? Recently, me and my companion, my family are gonna be staying for like at least a day to rest up and prepare.
Well,
I'm Lily.
I realized who you are. You are the only dragon forged individual at our school. I currently have. Let me look at my schedule. I have this lecture, which is going to last an hour and a half. After that, I have a 15-minute luncheon that I have to conduct with one of the other faculties within abjuration. After that, I have another back-to-back lectures, an hour and a half apiece. Around that time is when we are going to be having our faculty meeting for all of the remaining archmages. And then after that, I have my works. I have to talk to a student about their work study program that I'm trying to mentor into graduation. So we're looking at. I have about 30 minutes at the end of the evening before I go to bed. Would that hopefully be enough?
I think that should probably be enough to summarize it. yeah, to get the important bits out of the way.
Can you at least
Uh,
start my brain in the right direction?
yes. There is the possibility of a magical. Joey, how would you describe the meltdown sort of thing? Like in
A
a mage
cataclysmic
terms.
meltdown that will corrupt the weave and magic in a multi-mile radius.
Jesus
weave?
Christ, Willie.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
Where do you think magic comes from? You're gonna fuck up the whole thing.
I thought you just said it was gonna like. I thought it was gonna oversaturate the land in the magic, and then
Yeah,
that's
just
what's
like the
gonna.
Blight Shore, and just like they have that bizarre weather that happens, something weird would happen as well if it goes kaplooey.
Hmm.
Yes.
Maybe you shouldn't be telling people this.
No, well, there's a specific reason she's going to the Abjuration Archmage about this.
Okay.
Um, so I'm trying to think of how to describe this now that you've said it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
I mean,
ready.
what you are describing is actually like literally dropping a nuclear bomb. It just
Yeah.
it's not in a city, but you know, it's close enough that nobody will be able to inhabit that city for about 200 years.
Ah, great. Lily will say
That's only if you fail.
there is the chance of an event that could cause the oversaturation. Like Lily will not say everything that you just said, but it's gonna like be the
Oh.
sum. If you put two and two together, it could lead to that.
Tell me
sort of
how you
situation.
tell her so I know what she knows.
So essentially, like the oversaturation of the magic in this area that could cause the land to become like the Blight Shore, sort of thing.
A cataclysmic event?
Not for the entire world, but for this specific, for this generalized area of the world.
Okay,
And I would
I'm
like
canceling
to-
my class. What is happening?
Well, I didn't want to cancel your class because
This takes
Too late.
precedence over a fucking lecture.
Well, I mean, knowledge is power, and I think these students deserve knowledge. Anyways, no, but anyway, sorry. Anyway, thank you. Well, and then Lily will go into some of the details. And Joey, the reason she's going to the Archmage of Abjuration,
Uh-huh.
and I'm just gonna try to summarize it for you, is she's trying to get her assistance as well as any mages and stuff that she trusts to help use abjuration magic to help grant contain this magic and maybe help not fully nullify because I think that's impossible, but to lessen the effects should she fail.
Oh, you mean you want a protective bubble to try to shield the bomb?
A failsafe.
How do I put this nicely?
Don't put it nicely. I'm a tough girl. I can
If
say
you
it.
don't finish this, we're fucked.
No, I mean, yeah.
There's no saving it. There's no safeguarding the situation. A catastrophe of that level anywhere in the realm will destroy inhabitants of, or all inhabitants of various species of creatures within an area. It will change and alter any humanoid that has even a small molecule of adaptability within it. It will unleash a flood of magic past the weave that our realm has not seen since the calamity.
I'm fully aware.
Who told you to do this?
So, I just want to clarify, I'm fully aware of what I've done. And let's be honest, I've done what most mages in the past have already done, both great and terrible. They thought they could do something really cool, and they either succeeded at it and became great, or they failed at it and became the villains of history.
And you are nearing on the villain part.
That is never intentional, or at least not for me.
Nobody
know
ever
those
thinks
villains?
themselves the villain. They become it based off of their action, not their intent.
I had all the opportunity to become a villain way back when, and even then, that I was gonna do something drastic to stop it. But I am not trying to do that. And in fact, if this works, this will change things for the better.
And if this
That being
fails, how many tens or hundreds of thousands of lives are going to be ruined?
I'm fully aware of this consequence that is happening if I fail right now.
But the gamble of their lives was worth it to you.
It wasn't a gamble at the time because I was very self-confident. And look, the point is, if you can't help me with a failsafe on it, at the very least, can you help my apprentice and with your abjuration mage's magic buy time for me to get this fixed?
I am absolutely sending an entire team of researchers down to take control over that situation.
So I don't like how you phrase that about taking control, because I mean no offense. This is some artificer shit, and while you're smart as wizards, it's gonna be a bit different from what you're used to.
And I hope you take this as seriously as I am trying to express it. Your actions in developing this type of magic, especially without the purview of the Lyceum to guide it, is something that we are not going to risk off of your intention, but your action. Intent means nothing to us. Have you ever heard the story of Retis Tower?
Can I roll a history check?
You may.
Absolutely.
Then you know, that mage was one of the founders of Westrun. He was one of the people there who tried to create a fantastic city and civilization to draw forth everybody within Tal'Dorei into a community before becoming this grand archmage that lost his way, ended up breathing in energies from beyond the veil of our universe, and ultimately is to blame for many of the hazardous situations that have killed hundreds of thousands of lives over by the Penumbra Range. His intention was to bring magic to more people. Now, do you think the families of those hundreds of thousands of people are okay with all of them dying because his intentions were good?
If I wanted a debate about morality and philosophy, I would have kept Bernie around. No. Honestly, I understand. You hold people accountable for their actions, but I don't think you condemn them for the rest of their lives for making a mistake. Unless, of course, they don't learn from it.
There are certain acts of abominable power that take place that people need to be punished for. And we will be reviewing these actions, and I will be heading out to its location in order to safeguard this location from any bad accidents that could occur. Which archmage do you have working as your apprentice over there?
Did you say archmage?
Yeah, like with what you're dealing with, she's expecting you to have an archmage.
Last name Dorolo. Fuck.
How many people do you actually have working on this, Lily?
So there's fuck, I forgot his name at the moment, but oh yeah, Bran the head, Grant Dorolo.
Yep, Brand is an archmage. He's also one that has committed atrocities of horrific deed, but he is an archmage.
Hey, the Lyceum doesn't know that yet.
Fair enough, I suppose.
I mean, he's got the family to back up that claim.
Yeah, fair enough on that one. Yeah. Grant DeRollo, who is an artificer.
Yeah, but no, she asked about her apprentice.
Who is the archmage helping you?
You're gonna have to drop the name.
Double question. Quick question. Miriam's an archmage of necromancy?
No, I am not.
Nope.
I have not passed that test yet, and I have nothing to do with this project. You can't prove that.
Okay. Yeah, no, I guess in that case, Lily will. It will be. I don't remember his last name, Joey, but Bren, last name. He is assisting me with
Vorinclix
it.
was his last name. Vorinclix.
Yeah, actually, I don't think I ever learned that then, because I don't. That's the first time I'm hearing it. Anyways, Bren Vorinclix, a archmage from the times of. I can't. She would name the year rather than the like actual period, as well as overseeing with my apprentice Grant DeRollo.
Did you just say Grantarolo?
Should I do an insight check, Joey?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to make sure that she's not gonna like. Lily, last thing she wants to do is to ruin Grant's whole future because of this fucking
Too late.
mage.
You involved a Kennedy in this.
Oh,
31. There's recognition not just of the surname DeRollo, but Grant himself.
Well, when I see this recognition with a nat 20, is it like a good recognition
Oh,
or
no.
a bad recognition?
No, more disbelief.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
He failed his entrance exam into the Lyceum 6 times.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And you
That's
entrusted
painful.
him. What is your current time scale without my influence on this project?
6 months.
Do not dilly-dally. You are free to go. You are free to go fix this problem as best as you know, and I am taking a team of my own researchers to this facility to maintain it regardless of your favor of your pupil.
Well, before you go, I am going to need to give you a letter of recognition because the security system I have set up may or may not think of you hostile if you just suddenly show up without it.
Good. Give it here. And we'll discuss your incarceration after you fix this problem.
Don't worry, you don't have to worry about incarcerating me. The Wisp Collective will probably do that. Anyway,
What
The
are
what?
you talking about? You keep saying that name to people.
What is that? Whisk Collective?
don't worry, you'll figure it out eventually.
Oh my god.
Alrighty, cool.
Just note that down.
Yeah.
How many
Is
invisible
this one-
assassins have you just sent after this poor person?
Already?
At least one. Look, did we forget to add Lily's thought filter?
No, it's literally like Lily doesn't care that they want their secrecy.
Is every artificer in the world just gonna get locked up eventually?
probably.
Because the last two
I have
been
to
arrested.
consult with all of the Wisp Collective to figure out what they wish to do about this ongoing situation. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Really,
Ice.
is that like another word that I'm not supposed to say as well? Or the other words that I'm not supposed to say?
What?
The one you just said?
I mean, the stuff I just said was normally is normal words.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the
That's
thing
why I
is,
said it then do. Now I know. Now I'm gonna know that you did this.
I mean, at the very least, I'm being better about not announcing to the world I follow the knowing mistress.
You know, that does show progress, actually, yeah.
I mean, not that I care, because I want her faith to spread. But you know, if I've already got probably invisible assassins from somewhere at Endu after me, what's a few more at this point? Like at one point,
Excuse me?
like,
Assassins?
Here's a metaphor for you. Once you're already covered in a little bit of mud, what's a little bit of more once you're already in the whole mud pit?
This is Lily's villain arc.
I think, Lily, the saying is don't wrestle with pigs because you're going to get dirty. And they love the dirt.
Yeah, and then there's the mentality of you can either accept that you're going to get covered in dirt or while you wrestle these pigs, or you can just stop and stay clean for the rest of your life.
I get the trough ready for you then.
Wow, you calling me a pig, Adendu?
No, but you called yourself it.
You're lucky
She's
I don't know
Oppenheimer
banishment.
without the U.S. government.
Lily has
Manhattan,
become
never heard
of
of it.
death.
I mean, hey, look, there is a cleric of death right next to her, so it tracks.
Yep.
Literally has the Grim Reaper behind her.
Oh, and that's why she was worried about the gothic wing of the Lyceum.
She just has this aura of just betrayal, friendly fire, destructions, in good intention.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Asmodeus will love you, Lily, when your soul gets down there.
Oh,
No,
absolutely
she's
not.
too chaotic. Too chaotic. She's going straight with the demons.
No, well, no. If anything, the one who would love Lily is the. I don't remember which devil it is, but I think it's the sixth circle of it, with the the rebellious one. It is like a devil of rebellion or some shit like that.
That changes depending on what book you read.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know what Joey's lore is for it.
Not Galicia. Was it the couple, right?
No, it's not a couple, but it's a female devil, archdevil. Anyway, it could be different lore with you.
Yeah, there's only 2 female archdevils. Anyways. So, back over to the other group. So, Tolsha, Mirian, Thorndil, you wander over towards the east wing of the Lyceum, where you do see the various different large entryways to the different schools of academia that persist here. Miriam, you did spend a week here, so you became slightly more familiar with the area, but now you're actually looking for the one that looks like necromancy, since back then you weren't actually in the school yet. You were trying to get into that specific school. And when you look around, you also notice that there's a new wing that's been added recently that has a familiar sign of dunomancy that has been implemented here at the Lyceum.
Good on you, Argon.
So,
Finally getting the school off the ground.
you head over towards the doors of the necromancy wing, and it has these large, hulking bones that are interlocked to look like a rib cage. Not anatomically correct, unfortunately. Set up over the door itself, and the handles are these grasping skeletal hands and fingers reaching out, and the porthole windows that peer inside are just these red glass-paned eyes inside of skulls that allow you to see into the wing itself.
I'm all for the aesthetic, but at least be anatomically correct. And I open the door.
As you open the wing, immediately the 3 of you are hit by a wave of bats that fly out from behind the door. All fluttering, flapping, and flying, but all of them made out of skeletons other than the membranes of their wings. There's a good 30 of them that just flew out. You look down the hallway, and all of the walls are painted black. All of the classrooms have bones over the crossing thresholds and hands for doorknobs that you have to reach and grab onto to twist, like you're grabbing somebody's hand like that. As you look down, there appears to be 3 students who peer towards you all seeing light for the first time in presumably days, and not being able to make out more than just your silhouettes.
The one actual vampire student goes up in flames when the light hits him.
Are there sconces along the wall?
There are, unlit.
I'm prestidigitating them lit. I'm going to assume, considering this is necromancy ring, it's either blue or purple fire.
Purple.
That's what I figured.
Immediately, the students kind of recoil, and then when they see you, their eyes go wide. Holy shit, he's the new professor. Yeah, he's the new professor. Wow. Okay. He doesn't really fit in here, does he? Nah, he probably just got it honorifically. Honestly, he probably just stumbled into necromancy. Yeah, he doesn't exude necromancy at all.
If only they knew. If only they knew.
Excuse me, is this some sort of costume
just
party?
So I could do that bit again, but
You said, is this some type of costume party? The students look at you. No, we embrace our school of magic wholeheartedly and have become of it.
Oh no.
Oh no, yeah, those kind of.
You
Mr.
just pull out
Glassman.
your staff.
I pull out my staff that's made of the giant spine of that creature.
Both of their eyes go wide when they see it, and you see one of them do a very big mage no-no and hard cast detect magic.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh.
That also means they see all the magic on us.
Oh.
I'm going to let that go since I've been busy and I haven't been able to come here to straighten this shit out. I might have a low perception, but he just did that.
Yeah, go ahead. My name is Orphant. I would like to be your student advisor, please.
Does that get the other two clamoring too?
The other two seem to be waiting for your reply. Necromancy students have a lot more patience than everybody else does. That is actually one of their strongest abilities as necromancers, is they can wait. Usually they wait too long. But it's easier to help when somebody's already dead.
And what are your qualifications?
I have been the embodiment of our school of teaching since I was a young child. I have raised myself out of the orphanage that I was left in by my parents' mysterious disappearance and leaving me there.
Can I insight this edgy bitch?
Go for it.
Can I do the same? Because this is
Yeah.
even more edge than a blood cleric. can handle.
27 nat 20.
He's definitely embellishing the story, but nah, he's telling mostly the truth. He's just embellishing, as you do in these situations. I've been a studier of the necromantic arts for the last 8 years. I have finally made it into the 5th school of teaching, where my growth has been stunted, waiting for my master to teach me more appropriately.
All right then. What? Name the connecting tissue that name the connecting tissue in between the femur and the pelvic bone.
What?
Cartilage. Next.
The next student moves up. Hi, I am here to join in as your dutiful servant, sir. I have been within the academy for only 5 years and have finally made it past my 3rd year of studying.
I actually did come up with questions to school these kids, but I'm trying to think of one.
How many liters of blood in the human body?
Oh, that is a good one, but it's not 100%. Oh, How much blood can a vampire drain from a victim before the victim experiences what's the name?
Exsanguination.
Not exsanguination. The disease where you become lightheaded.
Anemia?
Becoming anemic. Yes.
What is the race of the victim?
Giant.
Oh, that was actually really good that he was able to counter that.
Half orc.
Half-orcs have a natural reason. Oh wait, you're not there. Never mind. No.
No, I was just saying.
Yeah. But he does counter with that and gives a little smirk. This guy's arrogant.
I'm going over the mental link to Miriam. Do something weird. Dragon or giant?
Oh, that's too easy. He can ballpark the. All right, thing. Gnome.
Gnomes are exceptionally difficult to conceptualize, as their average height is usually between 2 feet all the way up to 3.5 feet, which means they have a threshold housing of blood limiter between 4 liters and 6 liters, given also how large they could be. I suppose any more than 1 liter missing from their body would be enough to diminish their ability to think properly and slow the flow of blood through the rest of their body and cause potential necrosis of their limbs.
As a blood cleric, is that correct?
Roll me a medicine check, both of you.
As a doctor, is that correct?
Medicine check, both of you. Yes and no. 1.2 liters would have to be the proper number. I mean, he was relatively close, but he gave you a lowball estimation, which both of you would know that means he is not a risk taker whatsoever. He would lowball all his calculations.
1.5, but good on you for asking for specifications of the race. Next.
Hello, sir. My name is Joffrey.
I just realized I haven't been. Are these all? What are the races of these people?
The first one, half elf. The second one was a human. Joffrey appears to be a very, very pale human. I've studied for 3 years, and I've reached my 3rd year academia. You can tell he's deliberately trying to deepen and rasp in his voice.
Gotcha. When you say pale, is it unnatural pale or just lack of sunlight?
Lack of sunlight, but unnaturally lacking of sunlight. This man is definitely vitamin D deficient, 100%.
Does he look like he hasn't been taking care of himself physically?
Absolutely.
How sunken are his eyes?
Fairly. And he also embellishes that with eyeliner.
Gotcha.
Or sorry, eyeshadow would embellish the deepening, yeah.
Can I make a medicine check on him to see how badly he's been not taking care of himself?
Yeah, go right ahead.
25.
Malnutrition, definitely not eating proper diets. You can definitely tell that he is not getting enough daylight and is choosing to stay inside of this environment. The other thing that you can tell is he has a severe lack of confidence, as he's constantly checking with the other two to try to get, judge how they're judging him. You get the feeling that he's 100% a poser.
Gotcha.
He's just one of those kids,
Malnutrition of at least several days, vitamin D deficiency. Doesn't matter how smart you are if you collapse
I'm just trying to get into the frat, and immediately one of the other students like elbows him to silence him.
Gods give me strength.
I cast guidance on Miriam.
There you go.
Good one. I cast enhance ability strength.
First off, malnutrition is going to prevent you from actually growing, and lack of vitamin D from either sunlight or other sources is going to lead to depression and suicidal tendencies. Despite how it sounds, necromancy is the study of death, not the embracing of it. And I look at the other two. Your friend is literally killing themselves here, and you just fucking did nothing.
Word.
I mean,
this is
Lynn's a
actually
harsh
the reason
teacher.
why there are so few necromancers, or at least why there were.
Hey man, the gods are just watching this like, oh, my favorite med is on right now.
Those of us that survive surpass all others in our power,
Oh,
just
no, no.
as our master, Miriam, has.
Oh, Jesus.
I'd say
We're
Ravon-
inside the necromancy wing, right?
Yeah.
I slap him on the back of the head.
Oh!
I have not let people die if I can help it. From my understanding, there are a total of 4 of you in this entire school, and yet one of you is almost killing themselves. You think this is a game? You think that this is dipping your souls in black ink and dancing with the souls of the dead? No. This is the study of necromantic magic, which is not just raising of the dead, it is symptomatic healing. It is the understanding of the anatomy of a corpse. It is understanding necromancy and how it exists.
The other teacher doesn't hit us.
Where is
Maybe
the other
that's why
teacher?
you all look like a bunch of posers outside of a what's the school in Uthodurn? What's the store in Uthodurn? Where was the Hot Topic?
Oh.
I think we just called it Hot Topic. Like, copyright and all,
Bunch of
fuck
posers
it. Just...
paying your wardrobes out of Hot Topic. Where is
Ooh, I shopped there last year.
Explains a lot.
Where is Professor Quill Snatcher?
His office is next to yours down the hall.
Excuse me, did you say quill snatcher? That's quite
He's a
illegal.
Kenku.
Oh.
The 3 of you go spend the day outside and get for God's sake, get him something to eat. He's gonna
Daylight.
pass
Oh.
out.
And he looks
Well-
excited when you mention food, and he's like, you can audibly hear his stomach. So you're saying necromancers don't have to drink blood?
No, unless you're a vampire somehow.
What's a vampire?
Oh, believe me, we're
Go
gonna...
out to the cafeteria, make sure, and afterwards take him to the nurse to make sure he's not anemic. And after that, I'm going to just have a long conversation with your teacher about the actual studying going on here.
They all kind of embarrassingly just bow their heads and walk away.
You
From-
just set these kids fucking straight.
Yep. From around the corner, you see Cosette kind of like pop her head out and wave. Hi!
Miriam,
She's
very-
surprisingly the most well-adjusted of these fuckers.
Yeah, Lily liked her. I don't know why you didn't follow Lily's advice on that.
I am following her advice. I'm not giving away this position for free, though.
Miriam, I feel
One
like
moment. I need to speak with the professor about curriculum.
I'll be waiting outside your office.
Yes, Tolsha.
I feel like we need to better understand what exactly has been happening in this room, as it's too damn dark to see, so I'm giving you a heads up. Flashbang, as I'm going to cast daylight.
Ooh.
Well, I turned on the sconces, so we should see
We
something.
need...
It's
It's still
purple
dark.
light and black walls. It's
Yeah.
So,
daylight. It is whole. You know, this is actually a really big hallway. Like,
Oh no! Why there are so many chips bags scattered around and
Yeah, how disheveled is this wing?
honestly, remarkably well maintained and cleaned.
Okay.
There's no messes anywhere. There's only about 7 students.
I thought you said there were 4. The last time we had the conversation was 4 total.
There was 4 total. Yeah, there's those 3 and her, and then there's... Yeah, no, there's 7. There's 3 new students that are interested in joining. So they're like
Oh.
first years.
Oh, okay, like fresh.
Freshmen. Yeah. They're not actually necromancy students. They're just hanging out here to see if this is an appropriate school to join.
and they were hiding in the corner and hidden by the shadows, and now they're probably...
Oh no,
covering
they're
their eyes
staying
with
away
daylight.
from those weird kids. They're fucking, like, really weird.
Hopefully, I set a good impression by like, what the fuck are you idiots doing?
Quill Snatcher will open up his office door. Who made it so bright? Can you turn it down a bit? And when he pops
No,
his head
well,
out,
sure
he's
now.
owl form. Aaron
I was
Cockroach?
an owl kinker. That makes sense.
Kinku,
Oh,
yeah,
it's an Aaron
Kinku,
Cockroach
Kinku,
now.
Kinku.
Hello.
Oh, the new professor! Come here! I've been hoping to run into you lately. Tell me, do you already have a gilded skull?
I did. I sold it when I stopped using the spell.
Oh. Well, if you need another one, I'm sure we can come to an arrangement. I have 3.
Professor, may I ask, what is the current scholastic plan for the School of Necromancy?
Oh. Well, we plan on teaching them the basics forms of necromancy, including raising up their first undead, and then we are going over the efficacies of necromancy, the culture behind it. But that is reserved for the 4th year students specifically.
Wait, so they raise a corpse before the efficacy training?
Well, yeah, most of the time, hands-on practice seems to be working a lot better to get more students to join us. I mean, we got 3 new students this year, which is, well, the most students we've had since, well, before you became a student here. What, 2 years ago? 3 years ago? I think it's only been about 3 years since you joined
Yeah.
the Lyceum.
What's this efficacy thing?
We've had multiple. There have been multiple instances in history of necromancers stealing corpses, raising them, and raising armies.
Defiling souls as well, destroying of natural tethers of individuals, seeping the magic out of individuals as well, and filtering that magic into themselves to imbue their own magical potential. Unwillingly, so.
Right. Well. No, I won't comment. No comment.
He's like, ethics, wow.
Do I technically outrank him now?
No. He's a higher tier professor than you are. He's been a professor since before you joined the Lyceum. He has tenure.
So I wouldn't be able to change curriculum until I'm Archmage.
Well, you can make suggestions about it, but only the Archmage is able to overrule everybody.
Who is the current Archmage of Necromancy?
There isn't one.
Oh, no one has lived long enough to get to that seat. Awesome.
Yeah.
Or has become evil.
And most of the time, they get like 1 to 2 students that are interested, and between 1 and 2 students drop out before their 3rd year. People
Professor,
think
would
they
you-
want to be necromancers, and then they don't.
Professor, would you be willing to hear my thoughts on how to update the curriculum. I'm also planning on bringing my simulacrum to cover when I'm not here.
Do you want to wing it?
Wing it or write it?
Wing it. Try your best. See what you can get out of it.
Yes, because I just found 3 students that seem more comfortable dyeing their hair than actually discussing Arcana.
Yeah. Those guys are kind of nerds. Anyways, he goes over and picks up a stack of formal paperwork and hands it over to you. Now I don't have to do it. Great.
I'm gonna need a day.
Yeah, no problem. Your office is right next door. Don't worry. I gave you a small present. I hope you enjoy it.
In my head, I'm thinking, I hope it's not just a skull.
It's field mines.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How many is this a comically sized?
Only about yay big, which is like a lot, but yeah.
Back in my day when I went to school, we used to call the necromancy students boneheads.
That's funny. We should call them that again.
I think so. It seems very suitable, fitting.
Oh, here.
Tomorrow.
You need this ring for the gift as well.
Oh no. I take the ring.
Already?
I guess we go to the office.
You go over. You see Cosette is waiting on a chair outside, very patiently. She just smiles.
Come in, Cosette. I'm going to be going through some stuff.
Okay. And she jumps up.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know if I want to do the test anymore. She's clearly the most well-adapted person in this school. Well, she is, right? She's not malnourished. She's just overly bubbly.
She's overly bubbly, but she looks healthy. Healthy for a wizard, mind you. She's not like,
right.
Tosha levels
what race
of.
Is she?
Yeah, the only
She is. Let me look at Cosette again, just to be sure.
the only other weakness she has is the cadaver thing.
Yeah.
Cosette is a tiefling.
Oh.
Yeah, blue hair.
Well, we'll find out. Is it bodies? Is it blood? What part of it is the part that freaks her out?
So,
Yes.
you get into your office, and the walls are completely blank and void of any color, as in they are just white, which is a nice contrast compared to everything else that you've seen. His office had, like, maroon painted walls, which was more lively and colorful, but nowhere near enough to actually have good lighting for working. Brighter lights is better for examining, you would know, as, a doctor. However, you see that there's this magnificent mahogany desk that would rival even Bernie's desk that is positioned in the center of the room, and you have 9 bookshelves with various scholastical tomes of different theories of necromancy, that some of which you haven't read. A lot of them, if you are to read them, they would do nothing but give you a brief refresher. But a handful of them look like they might actually be valuable, but these are meant for the teachers here at the school. There are 3 chairs. 2 of them are positioned across from one that looks large enough to suit you, and when you get over to that chair and pull it out, you feel the soft cushion with leather seating over top of it that is remarkably well made. And you look down. Inside of your chair is a box that is roughly about 10 inches by 10 inches on all sides, that has a ribbon over it.
I have the ring. I open the box.
As soon as you open the box, you see a hand jumps up, and slams onto your desk a severed hand.
Okay, is this like fuck, what's his name in the Addams Family?
Thing.
Thing.
Is this an actual magic item or is this a creature?
Roll me an Arcana check.
15.
Actually, high enough. Yes to both. This is the left hand of somebody, which immediately lets you know that this is probably some type of spell that animates left hands, specifically. And the only one that you can think of is a somewhat frowned upon spell that requires you to take the severed hand of a, what is it called? A murderer who is still living to animate it.
I think I've heard of this item.
And it has a little bit of like a wristband that's the same color as your ring.
Tolsha, can you identify this thing while I go through all this paperwork? Tolsha?
Can Tolsha
I can
identify?
detect magic. I don't have.
Oh, you don't have identified. Fuck. Okay,
I could have a look at it if you want.
please do.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, I'll start identifying it then.
very well. So you sit down and start going over all your paperwork, and you see Cosette sits down across from your desk, and she looks at a section of the desk and goes, "May I put my notes in this area here?"
Yes, go ahead.
And she organizes by tome, leather-bound, and paper for 3 different areas with everything that she has, and then just sits. So,
Okay.
are you hard casting Identify or ritually casting it?
Ritually.
Okay.
So while he's doing that, I'll deal with the paperwork in a minute. Seeing if she's gonna come with us is important. But you don't have to roll for identify.
Oh yeah, true.
But 29.
Pretty
I've
good.
never played a high-level wizard in 5th edition yet. So this
Oh,
is
get ready.
awesome.
You'll
Yeah.
accidentally stumble into a stupid combo. You will. It
Yeah, you
always happens.
Yeah. The only other wizard I played was like 3rd level, I think.
So, just with that Arcana check, though, you look at this. Oh, you don't need to identify this. This is a mage's hand. A mage who has committed an atrocity against magical kind, who has their hand severed. They magically imbue it with magic that allows you to utilize this hand as if it was a mage hand, minus the flying aspect. So it's a perpetual mage hand that you can command and control.
This is not the thing I thought it was.
Nope.
This is turning more and more into Adam's Family.
We're finally
I
on
mean,
the
honest-
necromancy arc.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it,
There
Our
could be worse
party-
things.
our party has mostly necromantic people. A necromancer, a blood cleric, a death cleric.
A mad
3/5
scientist.
necromantic.
Hey, I'm not mad yet. I haven't done.
I didn't
Nope.
say Miriam was the mad scientist.
That's definitely Lily. She is, yeah. So yeah, you identify that, or you know what it is without identifying it.
All right. Yeah, I'll just tell you. It's sort of like a mage hand, perpetual one. Not, it doesn't fly though, but it can crawl.
How does it move while holding something?
Well, it can move with 3 fingers and hold small objects with the 2 other fingers.
Uh-huh.
The
I
other
really-
benefit of it is you can command it to do something instead of having to concentrate to make it do something. You can just go, hey, go fold that laundry over there, and it'll do it. Slowly, but it'll do it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Seems to have been made. It's probably made from the severed hand of some illegal mage. Well, you know.
My understanding, it's the hand was the hand of a murderer.
No, that's all that's required. We've come across plenty of those.
Technically, we count as murderers. Okay, putting the paperwork aside for the moment. Cosette,
Yes, sir.
your difficulty with cadavers, is it due to the nature of a corpse, or do you have the tendency to faint at blood?
Oh, I haven't fainted. My biggest issue has been the smell. The moment I cut into the cadaver and smell it, I become very nauseous, and it disrupts my focus on whatever I'm working on.
Cosette, when the cadavers are brought, are they pre-embalmed?
No.
Then that's not your fault. When a corpse dies, all the gases begin to gestate within their bodies. Cutting one open, I'm surprised you didn't get a disease doing this. Going to have to make a note of that.
Yeah,
Well-
it's the upperclassmen who've been in charge of the handling of the cadavers when they are delivered here. They
You mean those 3 idiots that dye their hair and hunch in a quarter, with one of them almost dying?
Yeah, I don't like them very much.
I'm going to need to get my simulacrum here. I cannot leave this place unattended.
No
Okay.
offense to
Agree.
Quill Snatcher. He, I'm sure, does his best, but he is incredibly aloof many of the times that we are inquiring about things, and entrust that students can teach students.
What?
Yes.
Since this is the main professor's office, can I see if there's a file on Quill Snatch? Like his teaching ability?
Roll me an investigation. Let's see if you find anything of note or hints towards him.
Hey, you have guidance.
I do have guidance.
Nice. Okay. Going through your desk, you do see that the previous professor in your stead, before he died, sad. He did have many different notes of critique about Quill Snatcher, mainly that he's incredibly aloof and seems to be disregarding of the actual academic pursuit for the students. They also wrote down that he does not get held at very high of a standard, and the expectations out of the School of Necromancy is the lowest in the entire school, so he just gets ignored for what he does.
Wow, he really is a tenured professor.
Yep.
Yep.
Can't fire him. And he stumbled into being the highest ranked person because there hasn't been any archmages.
Wait, how old do Kenku live?
About 45 years.
How old is he?
45 years.
Probably like 35-ish.
He's gonna be dead in a decade.
Yeah.
Oh, God, are they glad I came along?
Yes. You thought you were getting a promotion. No.
No.
You're getting responsibilities.
Yeah.
I'm getting put in charge of fix it.
Well, look, if you need help, the Church of Mamavusis is always willing to help.
I appreciate that. Bullshit.
I'm curious, Miriam. What's this I mean, so you're in charge of necromancy here at the Lyceum now, then?
Within the last... Oh god, technically it was last year, but we've been so busy.
Oh. Well, what's the sort of... What's the end lesson for the students to learn? Sort of, what's the main purpose behind it? Besides learning to raise a family, as it were.
That one was actually pretty good.
Success.
Does Corzette jump at the opportunity to state the mission statement?
No, she's curious as well.
Oh, fuck. Oh no, it's that bad?
She has a passion for necromancy, but she hasn't had any form of actual guidance.
Oh,
She's looking at you expectantly.
Well, I got through week 1, so I would have heard the mission statement, right?
Necromancy. Raise a family, become more powerful. That's
You're
what
shitting.
Quill Snatcher said.
I mean,
Well,
he's not wrong.
What I'm getting at, Miriam, is that seeing as you're in charge, you should have the authority to change the mission, as it were. Right?
Well, I put my hand on the stack of papers. It's probably what I'm going to be doing for the next... What time of day is it?
Early.
For the next 12 to 16 hours, possibly.
And I would be very happy to sit here with you the whole time and work on this.
Thank you, Corzette. Before we do that, I'm going to reach into my bag of holding and pull out my white.
Ooh, your white what? No, I know.
Not my fault they're named that way.
I know.
Did you pull out the white one or the wrong one?
You pull it out and... Ooh.
Cosette.
It has a remarkable amount of intelligence behind its eyes. Is that just aesthetic, or did you give it a form of recognition and comprehension?
Little of column A, little of column B. This is a white. This is created using the 7th level spell, Create Undead, cast to the a 6th level spell, Create Undead, cast at the 7th level.
Oh, wow.
They are one of the most powerful undead that can maintain its maintain its structural control over without falling apart afterwards. But they are intelligent. But what I have been trying to do is go beyond this. What do you remember? I ask my white, who can talk.
Yep. He speaks Hungrul, correct? That's the language.
Languages
yeah.
they knew in life.
Oh.
So these were humans, so they know common, and they have they have enough of their flesh to actually talk.
I recall lessons at a young age. Dancing under a pavilion. Then they stop there.
You know, this is rather intriguing. So it has memory still, but presumably you did this without binding their souls.
There is no soul attached to this body. This is only the body reanimated with Arcana.
Huh.
And with my studies, with the city of, as well as visiting the city of, what's its name? Something Goza.
On the Blight Shore?
Where's my... On the Blight Shore, yeah.
Alright, let me scroll in.
Oh, okay, I got it. I found the...
Oh!
Gorvas.
Oh, I fucked up.
I'm sure you've...
Gorvelis, that's it. Gorvelis.
I'm sure you've considered this, Miriam. The implications would suggest then that the consciousness does not actually sit in the soul. Or is not. That they are two separate things.
Yes. I've also, in my earlier experiments, had a pair of skeletons that I was able to teach sign language. And they were able to learn how to properly position themselves in combat.
Interesting. Well, I'm just.
Sign
The
language?
thing I-
I'm assuming she's just scrolling all this down.
No, she's listening, not writing. She's sign language? That's right. You used to be a Goliath, and Goliaths are related and kin to giants, and giants' primary form of communication is through sign language. Yes. Right?
Right. Well, I'm just wondering then if, because in traditional perspectives, the soul is said to be the sort of container for the consciousness, as it were.
Well, if you
Or
want my
mortal
opinion, Mom.
consciousness, maybe.
If you want my opinion
well,
on
let
it.
me just finish my thoughts here. If the consciousness is a separate entity then from the soul, then what is the soul specifically? What is it that goes to, presumably an afterlife or something if there is no consciousness with it? Or is it merely a duplicate of the consciousness?
From my research, I believe that once the soul of the mortal passes, that cognizance goes to the afterlife, but there's an echo of the memories still within the body itself. And somehow, the Create Undead spell can allow that to surface to the forefront, creating a new personality.
Well, that is rather disturbing, sort of. So they are able to create new thoughts by themselves.
Yes, but there is a hard limitation. Once the spell is undone and is not recast, they seem to lose all recollection of the teachings that I've taught them. They devolve to their bestial, ravenous nature.
Right.
But if the spell is reconnected, they recall all the knowledge that I imposed upon them. Which means they are learning beyond death, but the spell is required to keep that knowledge active.
I see. So, I guess you could say then that what sort of substitutes their consciousness or the echo of it is rather than an echo that is inherent in the weave, as it comes from the spell.
If it came from the spell, how would they recall the memories of the soul they had in life?
Well,
The soul is not a part of the weave, and
No.
neither is consciousness.
But there is, there are theories that each soul can leave a sort of, I believe the term is psionic imprint on the weave, especially if it has a sort of a strong, strong emotional impact, at least in its local area, that it can leave sort of a residual psionic psychic thing, right?
Cosette raises her hand.
What is that?
I did do some independent research last year that did point that the weave itself interlocks and interchanges not just around the environment, but around the individuals in their native environments as well.
Right.
I was curious Wow, I have more to think about today than I have in the last, 6 months combined.
Well, it connects to, well, the reason why there are some races that are more inherently capable in the magical arts, and some that are more or less perfectly mundane.
Farendale,
Right? Yes.
going along the line of thinking, I believe that when the soul is split from the body, it leaves an imprint of what everything experienced, and magic help brings it to the forefront. Think of the spell Speak with Dead. A corpse remembers everything it knows in life, but it does not regain that soul.
Right. But, well, the question is, are those memories connected to the corpse's physical form, or to the corpse's metaphysical connection to the weave itself?
That I'm not sure, but the analogy I've always thought of is, think of someone who's been in a routine, or someone who constantly stands in one spot, or an item that's constantly used. There will be wear and tear, echoes, or imprints left by that use. Surely that the experiences learned by the soul leave an imprint on the body itself, even if the flesh is no longer there. Just the aspect of the body have being inhabited, of the experiences learned, of what it's gone through, of what the soul has experienced, leaves a physical or metaphysical impact on the soul or corpse itself.
Oh. She snaps her finger and a crow appears and she just sits it on her shoulder.
Well,
You're familiar?
Yes.
DM, remind me, when I went to Gorvelis, I met several, zombie and skeletal, undeads.
Yes.
That were not being controlled by anything, but still had sense of reason.
They had... The zombies had enough of a awareness to avoid everybody, including not just ravenously eating you, who is a living creature. But you wouldn't label that as really developed cognizance. The skeletons, on the other hand, they did. And not, super well developed. It's like the zombies were capable of pushing bales of hay or leading horses. But the skeletons would have been capable of, handling drinks at an inn and trying to help out with getting people to appropriate rooms. They were smart enough to escort you to your own room after they were told which room it is. Beyond that, there was other creatures there that were perfectly intelligent.
Were the creatures that were perfectly intelligent, were they the type of creatures that were created, or the kinds that were born?
A few of them were created. More the ghouls. Those ones, most of the time, were created. But there were quite a few of them that seemed to be more natural in their state of death.
Probably the biggest revelation in my research in Gorvelis, I saw a variety of undead that, without any necromancy, were acting as people.
Gorvelis is a real place?
You've heard of it?
In rumors and stories.
Yes, it is unfortunate. It is a very fascinating place.
Wow.
Well, my take on it is this. You see, I recall reading some, rather esoteric theory about, more like a hypothesis, I suppose. But it did have some sense to it, or at least an inherent logic. It suggested that the weave itself, that all of arcane magic, in fact, has itself a sort of sentience, about it, an inherent intelligence that, while not necessarily a thoughtful form of intelligence in the one type that we have, that it can manifest as will in some ways. For example, there are reports of certain spells that have been cast throughout the centuries that seem to indicate that these certain spells, if cast under various conditions, can gain a form of sentience themselves. As in, the magic from that spell does not dissipate and return to the weave, but it gathers, congeals, and continues to manifest itself.
DM, is he just talking about permanent enchantments?
Potentially. But this is a line of thinking you haven't really experienced yet.
Gotcha.
What is the weave made out of? I'm sorry if that's a stupid question.
Who are you asking?
Either of you.
Ugh. Ugh. That is that an Arcana check? Because I don't know.
That is your answer. You don't know.
Oh,
As a cleric, would I have any idea? Especially as an archaeologist who's been studying histories.
You can roll a religion check.
Well-
Session advantage.
oh wait, do I know that it was like put in place to like control magic?
You know it was put there to protect mortality by the gods, the divine. Tolsha, 20. It is believed in many various religions that the weave is developed through the heart and passions of the pantheon towards mortality in order to safeguard them, like an embracing hug from the gods themselves, a strong celestial presence. How true that is, you don't actually know, but that is a very solid belief system.
Well, from a religious standpoint, I'll repeat what you just said.
Well,
But
Does mana exist?
Not in the way that, magic and stuff like that work.
Gotcha.
you're actually touching on a rather fundamental question there. And it's, to some extent, also what Erendy was trying to figure out. You see, he surmised that the magic, the weave itself, is a metaphysical manifestation of the concept of potential. As in, anything that can happen. And, well, the way we manipulate the weave is through vocal and somatic components, as we call it. These are merely tools to reach out and touch the weave in the same sort of frequency that we are trying to access the potential of. As in, well, let's say I want to utilize the weave's potential for a fireball to appear over there. I'm not doing that right now, but in order to do that, I would need to speak the right phrase in the right way in tandem with the somatic components, right? That is how we access it. And that is one way to, vibrate in the same frequency that will allow that potential outcome to happen. Now, his idea was that there are basically infinite possibilities, some of which are not comprehensible for us, or we are unable to comprehend them because we exist in a certain reality that is, bound by its own fundamental laws.
Well, here's a question for you. Is religious magic and arcane and druidic all stemming from the same point And as a spell like Anti-Magic Field stops all three.
Yes. Well,
Oh, philosophy.
You'll get that a lot if you join us.
well,
Mary, you do remember that was the one class that she had a B- in?
it's sort of philosophy also, I guess, but it's about finding the right questions more than the right answers.
Huh. Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun. I might need to make more than just one crow to remember everything that you guys say so I can write it down later.
Fair. You probably will.
I'll work on learning how to make a flock of them. Or a murder, I suppose. Crows in a group are a murder. Right? Yeah, okay, cool. Awesome.
Yes.
Well, I'm happy to help you with all of your paperwork and give you the student's perspective on what might be better to bring the School of Necromancy into the forefront of knowledge again.
I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Under which class would they teach you about what each spell component is able to do?
Abjuration.
Really? Abjuration is the one that would teach you about the various different spell components.
Abjuration has the biggest focus on fundamentals of magic out of any of the schools.
Does it teach you how to identify what new components you've not come across yet are able to do?
Potentially, I'm not really a specialist in that.
Which is fair and understandable. I'm just curious how you would handle, say, seeing something like this, and I'll give her one of the small blood diamonds I have. What do you think this component can be used for?
Well, it's gems, so gemstone dust in general can be applicable. Its level of purity is fairly nice, so I could definitely use this in many different necromantic spell castings. If you gave it to a cleric, they'd probably like it even more.
Well, yes. Unfortunately, it's too small for a spell like Revivify. However, that one specific type of gem is known as a blood diamond.
Oh,
It
I've
has a
heard about these. Yeah, they're flooding the markets.
One of the few people who can make them is right here.
Ooh. Oh, this is going to be fun. And I'm calling break now, guys, because we're not going to skip it for 2 weeks in a row. When we get back, Lily and Adendu is up again. Probably more than likely joining up with the party, but we'll see.
It's in
I mean,
that
the
just
worst.
means they can deny she ever went here.
I mean, the worst thing is that like Lily came here with some faith and trust, and then that trust and faith was absolutely broken and shattered.
You had no reason to trust her.
Lily has reasons to trust things, and now she doesn't. So you know.
You never met any of these professors.
Professor Thunderbrand is her favorite.
Why don't you go to him?
He's the one who would get you arrested immediately. He was the one in charge of the War Council.
I mean, he is
Which-
much more flexible. Like, let's be honest. He likes all of you guys, and he knows you guys personally because of the war and everything. Like, he would have been a lot easier. And we are live, by the way. Hi, everybody. He would have been a lot more chill than a terrified professor who hasn't left the academy in, like, a decade.
Oh, they weren't involved with helping the war?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh,
that
they
this is an
definitely were
archmage.
involved in protecting the Lyceum.
The place that cannot be penetrated.
Why do you think
by
it can't be penetrated? The Abjuration
Lily hasn't-
Archmage.
Miriam
Lily-
knows that's not true.
Lily hasn't attempted to penetrate it yet because she had no reason to.
But at least, you know, out of character, you understand where their concern's coming from, right? Like,
Mhm.
hey, I did it because I wanted to be good. Like, yeah, your intentions don't really matter if hundreds of thousands of people die.
Oh my god, you're Sheldon. He tried to make a nuclear reactor out of microwave parts.
Funny enough, a lot of kids, no joke, in the 2000s got arrested for that.
Yeah.
Nothing got
Yeah.
pressed onto them because it's like, hey, you're learning, good for you.
You
But
now
don't.
exposed to radiation poisoning.
Yeah, it's like you don't understand what you've actually done. You understand the mechanics, but not the repercussions.
Right.
So we're just gonna say Lily is dumb, and that's why she did it.
She's unwise. That would be the more appropriate thing.
Yeah, she
That's-
has no wisdom.
So that's the
best
ironic
part
thing.
is the person who has wisdom said nothing at all.
Yeah, why do you think I sent you with her?
Well, that's the
Sh-
funny thing
and
too.
then-
Is Lily has has a bigger wisdom than she does charisma.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
That's
And then
shocking.
you know this is like the mortal police. She isn't going to incriminate herself.
And progress always terrifies people, so it's just something that happens.
Yeah,
you know?
that's kind of why Lily is disappointed.
Anyways, Lily, you found your way into the hallway and found your way over to the office where there seems to be a long-winded philosophical debate about the weave or some shit. And a Dendu as
who-
well. You both found your way there.
Who's in charge of that
do-
lecture?
You pop your head in, and it appears to be your party.
I
plus
do have a
Cosette.
question, DM.
Yes.
Looking at that teacher,
Which one?
the one that Lily was talking to,
Uh-huh.
Azura.
I'm thinking of using, or was attempting to use Geist on them to just make them forget the entire conversation.
That won't forget. That puts a constraint.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
also
you're
their
thinking modify memory, also their abjuration, also their archmage. Yeah.
yeah. Get ready for those counter spells for days.
Abjurations are notoriously the hardest mages to fuck with their heads. They just
Hmm. Okay.
And
Fail-
bodies.
That's fair.
failing a saving throw as an abjuration archmage is very difficult to do. Like-
But Joey can do it.
But Joey could do it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like out of all the wizards, abjuration's one of the harder ones to kill.
Anyways,
Too many
you
shit
guys
shows.
walk into the room.
Yeah.
Everybody, hi.
Ah, welcome back.
How
Hey.
did it go?
Not as well as I hoped, but for the most part, things will get done. How'd your thing go? Any potential students? Anyone caught your eye? Personally, I like that Cosette late girl.
She like leans out from like hiding behind everybody else. Hi.
Yeah, I like her.
Thank you. Is that a good recommendation? She whispers over to you, Tolsha.
Yes and no.
Oh.
You might have heard of her, Lily.
Yeah.
That's the only thing she needs to know. That's Lily. Okay, my career's done.
Well, I would say the greatest hallmark of a good wizard is curiosity, you know? Being inquisitive, trying to get to the bottom of why things are the way they are, and all that.
Well, I mean, that's certainly the motivation. What makes a good wizard and any sort of person really is the hard work they put into it.
Yes, cousin?
I would just like to point out this. I've asked you 4 questions, engaging in the conversation that you guys are having.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
And then you said it's the most you've learned in the past 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 6 months. We do need to deal with that.
Oh yeah.
Well, anyways, we've teleported. We need to take a day to rest, I believe, before we start heading out to Marquette to meet with. Let's see what I'm just trying to remember his name. No, sorry, I'm looking at my notes to get his name. We need to find that Tyson Miguel, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's, I guess, go use the guest rooms, or I don't know if they already renovated out my old room.
The necromancy wing?
Technically, you never had a room, Lily.
No, she would have had a room. It's orientation. They give you a place to sleep your first night. Like, that's the very, second thing they do. The first thing they do is they give you a lanyard. The second thing they do is give you a room.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I might as well just, rest up in your morgue area for the necromancy wing.
Considering there are 7 students, I'm pretty sure the majority of the necromancy wing is available.
And 5 of the students stay inside of the it's a basement. They call it a lair. It's a basement.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Is it actually the dorm for necromancy, or is it just the sub level of the wing?
So inside of the centralized pillar, the largest of the towers inside of the Lyceum, is where all of the classrooms are and where it is most defensible. Now that their defenses are a little more lax a year after the war, there are their own buildings outside, which are their own extra dimensional spaces for each of the academies. So there is its own necromancy dorm. It's the Necro Hall.
And it's a basement.
No, 5 of the students choose to stay in the basement, but it's a whole ass. It's magnificent mansion.
Means 2 of the new students are staying there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're not calling it the crypt or the mausoleum or something.
Don't give them ideas.
Yeah, they would need
Don't
to be
you understand?
well
It's
fed
the basement
to do that.
layer.
Well, if they were well fed, maybe they'd be smarter. I'm sorry, I shouldn't shit talk my fellow students.
Oh no, shit, talk them all you want.
I also shouldn't cuss in front of my professor. I'm sorry.
Oh, I do it all the time.
Anyway, Cosette, this is going to be a test to understand that will judge my opinion. I gesture to my white. I want you to name as many bone segments and muscle groupings as you possibly can. You can write them down instead of speaking.
Very good. Do you want them in alphabetical order or size order or from head to toe or from toe to head? Okay.
Order of importance.
Oh, head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Oh, well, that is so much more subjective.
The ligaments, that's the only important thing right now.
Very well.
Everything else is dead, technically.
She'll sit there and start jotting it all down, trying to write as best as she can, and she does take a few moments to reflect. Okay.
And And then I
Okay.
want her to take the pieces and put them on the exact parts on the white. So it's knowledge of what they are and where they are.
Oh, do you want me to cut them up and just like
Yes, please.
put them? Oh, okay, okay.
While she's doing that, I would like to insight Lily to see how well this actual meeting went, because I know her.
Sure.
And meanwhile, I'll start transcribing our spell books.
Ooh.
You're
nice.
gonna take a while.
No, he
dude.
isn't. He's a scribe.
Does Scribe get an extra bonus on time
Mm.
conversion?
It takes 1 minute per spell level.
Fuck you! God,
Damn.
And keep in mind, you can scribe for yourself, but he still has to copy yours at his rate.
Actually, I was wrong. It's 2 minutes per spell level.
Oh, come on, that's twice as long.
So
Oh,
it's
man.
Tyrion has like 150
A tenth.
levels worth of spells. Like, that's almost
I
3
have
whole
a lot of
hours.
Yeah.
So
Mir-
Lily, what did you do?
Well, the reason I was asking for that insight check is Lily already told you how the meeting went, but you know Lily, you know your sister, and you know that when she's extremely upset about something, but like it's one of those like things where she doesn't want anyone to be worried or bother about it. She has that sort of like tick, you know, she has a poker face kind of thing sometimes, especially now that she's an automaton. And you start to kind of like see that old tick in her like demeanor, her behavior, the sudden like, oh yeah, didn't go as well as I thought. It's fine. Well, how's your stuff? You know, just immediate change of subject, sort of stuff.
And then do what happened?
She got herself killed. The school here, defense are going to be all up in her, as the young kids likes to say, grill, taking over her workstation.
He learned all the hip lingo.
Cannot hear you at all.
Charlotte will laugh. Hip! And she puts it in the right spot.
You know, I really do like her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Order of the Scribes is bullshit.
I mean, it's bullshit for more reasons than this. This is just make wizard easy.
Actually,
Yeah.
bullshit.
To take 2 hours for every spell level that's not necromancy. You know how little necromancy spells there are?
Yeah.
Listen, you have to understand with the scribe, they're not a part of a school, you know. They're everything.
Everything.
Also, no one ever said necromancy was going to be easy.
And that's what
This
makes
is
it
true.
so
But-
rewarding.
But long end of it, she confessed of what she did, and it seems the teacher didn't really enjoy hearing that. In one word or another, an energy output to mess with the weave.
So, I'm sorry, what?
Look, yeah, I don't I need to deal
We're
with
doing
this
this
right now.
in a corner away from her because she's focusing on her test.
Oh, okay. Oh wait, no, from your student.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, no. In that case, yeah, no. Still, right. I don't want to deal with this right now. I'm gonna go to the evocation shooting range for a bit, and then I'm going to bed.
But you don't need to
They
sleep.
Rest you. I can't do anything.
Then don't. And then Lily walks off.
I got it!
I check her work.
She mislabeled a few of them that sound incredibly alike. She was working off of memory, but not familiarity of where it is. Again, she's never cut open a cadaver and not vomited. But based off of her memory and the word and where it is supposed to be, she's probably like 95% accuracy.
95. Not bad.
Yeah.
You missed those before, but they sound incredibly similar, so I'll leave that away.
Yeah, I was kind of confused on which of those four. The ancient Elven they use to describe body parts is just so. I'll learn Elven better.
It's quite all right. I put my white back in my bag of holding.
Taking all of the paper and
Yep.
flipping it off.
Oh,
Yeah,
Cosette,
fair
you have demonstrated you are already more qualified than the other 3 students. Congratulations. You are now my assistant.
Yes.
First task is going to help me rewrite this curriculum. And I gestured to the rest of my party members. If you want to take Thranduil to the workshop, there might be some students' magic items that might interest him, since he just got a ridiculous amount of money, and I don't know what has been invented since he last was on the material plane.
Will we know where that is? Since
Sure, I'd be happy to go there. Just give me a couple hours and I'll have this transcribed.
And you guys see he is writing and
Both
flipping
me
through
and
your
Cosette, like,
pages
what?
at absurd speeds.
Yeah, don't you know he's so old he writ the language of the elves.
He's as quickly as he is processing your notes, he is rewording it to make sense to himself.
I'm putting in the highest form of understanding, you see.
Also, I'm adding various puns and stuff into his
All right, that's going to tack on an extra 30 minutes.
All right. Yeah,
30
Only
minutes just
30
for
minutes?
puns. Just for puns.
Watching him try and scribe spells like this is giving him a migraine.
like, why can't I do that?
So, if I can make one immediate suggestion to the curriculum, can we move efficacy to like the first or second thing?
That was going to be my suggestion as well.
And culture as well. I mean, I don't know why culture of necromancy is such a huge thing. Maybe I didn't learn it properly, but I don't know. I don't think drinking blood seems to be healthy.
It isn't, and that's not the culture of necromancy. That is fiction. That's literally written fiction, and that's going to make me want to go through this entire library to see what's actually research and what's just bad romance novels.
Yes, unless you're a vampire or a vampire, you don't need to drink blood.
What is a
And
vampire?
yes, they're two different. A vampire is a type of undead that lives off of drinking blood or vitae from a person as their food source. A vampire is similar to a vampire, but they do not have the unquenchable thirst to do so. They are more controlled.
Huh.
I've
Wait,
encountered both.
Those are still
Yeah,
around?
You're forgetting the other one as well, the in-between.
Oh, the ones that sparkle?
They don't. Those were massacred a long time ago. They don't exist anymore. What were you saying, Thornton?
No,
What
he
do you
just
think?
looks out from the book. Those are still around? Huh.
They were
Yes.
exterminated. They're back.
Oh.
Well, that's a dumb idea.
Huh. Can we
Dangers
control
of
them in the same
interplanetary-
manner that we can control other forms of minor undeads?
I'm pretty sure they're classified as major undead.
Oh, I need to get stronger to do that. I'll figure it out one day.
Yeah. Remember the time we... Oh, by the way, watch out for any cocaine. We have come across some that has been laced with vampire blood.
Cocaine is brand new to this universe. No one here knows how to make it yet.
What's
Is
cocaine?
And why do I want it?
Ignore that. It's an interplanar item that I believe is technically illegal from where it came from.
I mean, technically,
Oh,
Technically.
it's one of those enhancing drugs. Yeah, I'm good. Completely
gonna
clean.
say-
I don't use any of those things. It's cheating.
yeah, I was gonna say it is actually probably a good thing for her to know since we're gonna go on some extra planar journeys.
Oh, y'all are gonna corrupt her so bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best to
Exactly.
try to help her save her.
So will Lily.
Okay, so between myself, Corzette, and my hand, how long would it take to completely rewrite this fucking thing to make sense?
If you guys pull an all-nighter, you could have it done by the morning.
Oh gods.
And if you bring your simulacrum, you'll have it done in 8 hours.
I have
Cosette
enough-
is
I have-
helping with ideas, but you're the one who actually has to reword it, go over what should be done, and everything like that.
I have 2 5th level spells. I can vamp to my tower and pick him up.
Okay. Bing. Hey. Bing. Back.
Okay, awesome.
Oh. Is this an undead you, or is it just a you?
Simulacrum.
An actual simulacrum. Argan does that.
Yes, he does.
You know Argan, right?
Yes, he taught me a little bit of dunamancy.
Cool. I was here for his performance. To become a graduate,
Oh.
that was quite a remarkable feat of magic.
I'm afraid I missed it. What exactly did he do?
Well, instead of doing what the headmaster suggested, he decided that he was going to put on a performance of energies that were able to alter and affect something called gravity in order to pull things in towards a singular small location and rip them apart. He created this devastating line of magic that pulled things in, and, well, many different objects were completely torn asunder and apart, and it just reshaped the comprehension of battlefield fighting for many individuals.
It's odd. I assumed his demonstration wouldn't be so combat focused.
I think it was just meant to be more awe-inspiring. I mean, he did found that entire school of magic, or refound it. We found out that apparently dunamancy was a thing a long time ago, but the knowledge of that has just seemingly disappeared. And he's completely reinventing it. Isn't it great when ancient magics are rediscovered and brought to modern ages?
Yes.
Yes.
And you're done.
Oh, here you go, Miriam. I put down most of mine, the ones that you didn't have, and I copied yours into mine. Well, you know the usual thing.
Wait, did he copy into my spellbook?
No, you still have to copy your own. He can't copy for you.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. So.
Yeah, it's when you copy it, you convert it in a way that works with how you personally wield magic,
Right.
since it's so changed, and he has to do it for himself, which is why he's going to require like 130 hours.
A lot of ink and a lot of paper.
Yep. Like I said, you're playing the easy mode of Wizard.
Sorry.
No, it's funny as shit.
It really is.
Gonna be honest, he's gonna be focusing on that damn book first.
Well, I'm not sure exactly how long ago it was I read it.
If I cast Identify on it, would it say if it's still active or not?
Legend lore would be required for that. Also,
if the magic
you can
is
do
active.
detect magic and see if it's magical right now.
Hey, don't have that.
So, one of the benefits of your student is that you can command them to do spell work for you for minor spells. After they've been with you for a week, any spell of 3rd level or lower that you have, they will also have, unless you specify that they can't do it for you. And you can ask them to cut down the ritual time for any spell you are casting in half.
Ooh.
Yes, as you are trying to educate them to be a better mage.
Gotcha.
You are officially a professor of the Lyceum. It comes with perks, as well as the once per day. What is it? Teleport to get here.
Yeah.
The question is, where's the break room?
The faculty lounge.
Yeah, with all the free snacks.
Oh, it's the Lyceum. They're mages. Everything is free except for the magical items. So, you said you wanted to go look at the magic items, correct? Thorindil?
Yeah. If everyone else is going there as well, I'll do that.
Anybody else wish to go
Yeah.
see?
Yes.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then do want to see these magical items and zone them.
I'm locked up for the next 8 hours.
I know Lily's at the shooting range.
Yep. Fireball range.
I mean, they have different ranges for the magnitude of explosion that you wish to do.
Well, with the explosion, single target, evocation, they've got all sorts of stuff.
Absolutely, that's their entire shtick.
Yeah, and they
What
also
do we do?
have
We
like,
blow shit up.
yeah, I was gonna say they also have the gamer rage of a Call of Duty player.
Okay. So currently in the
Wallhack.
school, they don't have a lot of items. They have an arcane amplifier, which is pretty much just a focus that gives you a +1 to spell attacks and stuff like that. Goggles of Night, they would have here. Wand of Elemental Manipulation, which is a wand that allows you to cast Dominate Monster, but only on elemental creatures. DC of which is 16. They have a Satchel of Holding.
Satchel.
The opening is
How mu-
smaller than a Bag of Holding, but also it's smaller, so it fits better.
How much is that?
Their asking price is 500 because that is the cost of materials. However, they do encourage you to give more because all other money that you spend goes towards the student who made it so they can continue making things and continue their pursuit of knowledge.
Right. I'll give them 750 for it.
Very good.
Does Miriam have dark vision?
Yes, I'm a bugbear.
Bugbear.
I guess he does now, because Goliath, when he was a Goliath, he didn't.
Nope. That's where I got the goggles of night.
Fernando, I do have to ask, do you know what currency is?
Well, of course I know what currency is.
You're not
I-
bringing
I'm-
an election bullshit discussion into this
Yeah,
game.
I've already learned that my Electrum coins are a bit out of date, but that makes sense, so... Well, we used currency back in my day as well, you know. Well, there
No,
were
no.
some places that didn't, but...
I just mainly asked if, like, the conversion rates. When I was out, I gave someone far too much money for simple bread.
Right, well, since they... Well, I mean, the asking rate was 500.
Oh, I don't know the prices of magical items. I'm no mage.
The student who is selling the items goes, yeah, they're all labeled and placed and certified by our faculty to make sure that they're within their appropriate ranges.
Right.
Crystal Ball of
Yes, well,
Clairvoyance?
Crystal ball. Clairvoyance.
Not sure I need it, but it would be nice to have a crystal ball. Although... Well,
You could juggle.
Its base value is 1,200 gold. And however much else you would like to give to the student would be greatly appreciated. It's actually my little cousin.
Oh. Well, let me just see what it can do first.
So a crystal ball of clairvoyance, firstly, counts as a crystal ball because it is a crystal ball worth 1,000 GP. In addition to that, you can cast a clairvoyance spell with it 3 times per long rest.
Okay.
Oh,
Obviously, whatever you see with the sensor is through the crystal ball because, it's right there.
and since it's a crystal ball, that's scrying as well. If you have that.
Yes, yeah. It counts as a crystal ball for crystal ball purpose spells.
All right. How much did you say? 1,200?
1,200, and any extra would be greatly appreciated.
All right. So let's say 1,500 then.
Okay. What else would they have here? Ooh, god damn it! I RNG'd that one. Fuck. Roll me a d6.
Right. Let me just. 5.
5. They have a gemstone of lightning resistance. Requires attunement.
Sure. How much is that?
600 starting.
All right. Sure, I'll get that as well. I'll give it 1,000 then.
Oh, okay. Now you're getting nicer. Oh, are you martially inclined at all?
I am.
We have a quiver of infinite arrows.
How much is that?
Starting value 800.
Sure. I will give them. I gotta get the conversion right, because
Volsha, do you even have a bow?
yes, she does have indeed a. I have a short bow at the moment, just mundane. 800. I'll give 1,000.
Okay.
Let's see. That was a crystal ball, gemstone. What was the first thing again?
The
You
first
gotta
thing
write
that
it
you
down.
bought, there is the satchel of holding.
Oh yeah.
Quiver of infinite arrows.
So mechanically how it works. You reach in, a arrow will magically appear into your hand, so you can draw and shoot. That arrow disappears after 1 minute.
Are the arrows considered magical? Dumb question, I know, but
They are considered magical, yes.
So if those arrows wasn't magical, that would be the true magical part.
It
Yeah.
just summons arrows from like a random vault somewhere. Some archer is going to be pissed. Where'd they all go?
Actually, that'd be funnier if it just summons an arrow from a random archer's quiver.
Oh, that would piss so many
Arrow
people off.
of
How many
random
times do you
flesh.
shoot till you start getting the guy you're shooting at's arrows?
Okay, yeah. I got that, Dark Road. And that's everything that would remotely be of use to any of you guys here.
No magic weapons?
They had the spell focus, but no actual magic weapons.
Okay.
And especially no magic weapons that people at your caliber would want.
This
Or
is the
need.
student building.
I'll buy. Well, let's see. 50 pieces of paper.
That'll be 50 gold.
All right.
Do you have a faculty ID? A student ID?
No. Well, let's see. I have my diploma somewhere.
If that's 50 gold, then.
All right.
Faculty get a discount.
Really?
45 gold for 50 gold worth.
So half off.
No, 45 for 50. It's not half. That's only
Oh.
5 gold off.
Oh,
That's still good though.
That's 10%.
What they don't tell you is you have to spend more paper to write the spells out because now it's only worth 45 gold instead of 50.
No, what they don't tell you is they don't give you more money for your salary because this is a benefit that gets calculated into your income. No.
It's one of those places.
Burn the Lyceum to the ground.
Honey, why do you keep coming home with pots of ink?
Because I keep fighting this giant squid.
Alrighty.
Becoming an inquisitor.
So, yeah. So yes, keep in mind the gem does require attunement.
Yep.
And it has to be on your person. So if you get like a
Yeah.
clasp or a ring or something to fit it in, they don't have those here.
Sure.
The student made the item and then stopped.
All right. Yeah, so it has to be in a socketed item before it can work.
No, you can just get anything that you
okay.
can keep, even if you just keep it loose in your pocket, but then if you lose it, you don't gain the
Right.
benefit, even if you're attuned.
Yeah.
It's students. They do the best that they can, but they don't really possess the forethought of an adventurer yet.
Yeah.
So what do you mean I'll lose it? I'll just keep it in my pocket. I've never ran before in my life, except PE.
Oh, you sweet summer child.
All right. So, Mirian, would you like to conduct your interview officially? You said you had questions and stuff.
or what exactly?
You student?
Cosette? Or are you just conceding that she is your only authentic option?
Oh, that was what my test was for.
Oh, that was it. Okay, yeah.
Yes. So basically, what I considered the interview was those mock questions I gave to those kids at the beginning. It's like, you're dying. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're Eric. The one in the middle actually knows what. Actually, the one in the middle knew what they were talking about, but they were still engrenched in this shit. So I can't trust their judgment.
Wow. Picking your favorite student based off of looks. Okay.
He literally talked about drinking blood.
True.
None of them are a race that would actually do that. That's why I asked for the races, because some races could survive on drinking blood.
Oh yeah, orcs, goblins, easily. Even Goliaths, technically, not only, but they can ingest blood, no problem.
Right. I'm also gonna have to have the walls painted. I'm gonna have them painted white because you need to fucking see in this damn wing.
White.
How? May I suggest something?
hospital. I'm effectively turning the necromancy school into a hospital.
What were you saying, Thorn?
Miriam, have you considered what if you sort of double down on the edginess just to show everyone else how not to be a necromancer? I mean, you could have keep a portion of it, like the stereotype corner or something. You could call it.
I mean, technically, I can just show them all the battle with Trent. That'll probably scare the shit out of them.
Can we dye your fur?
I'd be interested in seeing that if you have it somehow. I see you've got this encode thoughts spell. I haven't tried that one before.
She'll raise her
It
hand.
takes a memory. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. You continue with that, but afterwards.
Oh, I thought that was Cosette raising her
No,
hand.
no. That's you. You.
It allows you to take a memory and basically pull it out of your mind as a translucent item that can be. Well, Lily has invented a way to broadcast that to other people. Mainly, you would use that to remove it from your mind so it cannot be read upon, as well as giving it to someone else to pass on a message.
Right. So the memories then. It's actually physically taken from you, sort of. It's not.
Yes, you
Yeah, so-
lose the knowledge of the memory. It also can be combined with modified memory, so you could technically implant and edit other people's memories.
Oh, that is intelligent. Okay.
That is unethical.
Scratches it out.
The Empire did that. That's how we got Volstruckers.
Ew. Oh, but back to the social corner for the edgy people. We do have the graveyard grinds.
The what?
What?
It's a section of our wing that was paid for by one of their fathers. It's a cafe. They called it grinds because you grind coffee, but also you can grind bones.
It's a cafe.
We have a private cafe.
Yeah. But if
Does
we
they
it
have
if,
the
just
Monster
coffee,
Mash?
or
if
is
we
it
keep
also baked goods?
oh, it has some baked goods, but most
been
of
using
it
the bone.
is pastries and chocolate frosting because it's dark.
They've been using
Except for the
bone-
red velvet cake.
the bone dust grinder as a coffee grinder.
But if we do keep one corner for them, I mean,
We can
I
keep
mean-
we can keep the cafeteria, the snack room all gothic and hell, but we need to be able to see what doors each classroom are in.
so the graveyard grind stays the same.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, how about this? We'll also keep the floor black, but we need the walls to be able to reflect the sconces.
Okay. White tiling so we can judge distance down hallways better.
Yes.
Trimmings in the tiles.
Actually, that's a good question. Where do we get our supplies of medical cadavers that we train people on, or do we just constantly reuse the same corpses?
She'll go through her list and flips through. We have a contract with the Tal'Dorei Standing Army, from the Tal'Dorei Alliance, that any of their soldiers who sign the waiver, of course, and donate their bodies, we receive 20% of those cadavers. And in instances of shortage of cadavers, we reuse the previous ones.
Well, considering that apparently no one's been embalming them, I'm assuming we have a bunch of rotting corpses.
Maybe, yeah. I've never
Yeah.
gone into that room after.
I'm going to need to go to that room to see how many actual teaching instruments we have and how much sludge is left.
I'll assist you with that, Miriam. I can at least burn the bodies away.
Does Lelixa require breathing?
No.
No.
You might want to ask her.
You're also,
Go ahead.
for reference, Miriam is a necromancer. I'm a blood cleric.
Oh, I'm so sorry if I offended you guys. I was just I was trying to come up with a helpful
Yes,
suggestion.
it's going to smell incredibly horrible.
I won't question you again. I'm sorry.
No. It's just we're used to this kind of stuff between the fact that Miriam works with the dead and my field works more with the living.
I trump both of you. I don't have a nose.
Oh yeah, how does she react to seeing a Dendu?
She already reacted last session, and she
Oh, right.
thought that this was your grandest project that you've worked on. She hasn't figured it out yet.
Oh yeah, how much?
So amazing.
Oh yeah, how much PPE do we actually have on stock?
PPE.
Masks, gloves for embalming and opening a corpse.
Oh, as much as you need.
Okay. I figured it's like, if it's Rancid, I hope to God she was at least wearing a mask.
Yeah, she was, but it doesn't help when it's, a bloated body just.
Gotcha. PPE. Sorry.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. Yeah, I never knew that acronym. Cool.
Personal protective equipment.
Pep,
yeah.
pep, 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 pep.
Yeah, the
How
thing
much
is shiny.
PPE do we have? Excuse me, what? That is not what you want to hear from the necromancers. And keep in mind, it is you who believes that necromancy and medicine should be practiced in unison. It's not a widely accepted thing in the necromancy culture.
Yes, and that's what I'm trying to rewrite, because let's be honest, necromancy culture is not it's not that good. You can be an edgy doctor, that's fine. I just want you to have actual skills outside of complaining about the corpses.
All they listen to is My Chemical Romance.
That's fine. You can be. We are in a medieval-esque society. There are very few doctors.
Fair. Alrighty, so you guys walk down the hallway a little bit. You see that they do have the graveyard grind that is currently manned by a skeleton who is making the most basic of coffees. But there is an array of pastries, and one of the actual servants of the school is working here. One of the, not faculty, but, cafeteria ladies, I guess you'd call them. Lunch boys, lunch girls, those ones. They look over at all of you. Hi. Oh, Professor! It's the first time I'm meeting you. Do you want me to get, like, a morning, ritual done for you? Anything you want me to have pre-prepared? A specific type of grind, coffee, pastry at the ready?
Yes. My simulacrum is going to be covering for me while I'm off later. So if you could give him a cinnamon roll as well as a half dark, half light with whipped cream.
Okay. A cinnamon roll. Do you want me to start integrating more normal foods?
What's the current menu on there?
We have the graveyard galette. We have the macabre muffins, the creepy croissants.
What are they actually?
A croissant that's shaped like a bat or a ghost.
Okay.
With like chocolate to draw like the actual face of it. The macabre muffins are mini muffins that has a twist inside of them of some red-looking gel to represent blood. She leans in closer and goes, "It's just orange that we've processed a little more with some food coloring. That's all." And
You have
it's
coffee?
we do. What
I'll have
brews would you like?
One chino.
Oh, you actually like coffee.
Right.
Okay. And she goes over and she actually perfectly prepares you a chino.
Just one cup of chino.
Yeah. Here you go. Wow. All these kids ever buy are lattes and cappuccinos.
Well, don't worry. They're going to be needing a lot more caffeine once I update the curriculum.
Cappuccino. That's some sort of play on words.
What do you mean, a cappuccino?
No, I mean the coffee is just called chino, right? And you say 1 cup of chino. That's
Oh. I made you something different, and she'll take it back. Chino grind is a Marquesian bean that is incredibly dark and potent.
Look,
Usually you have to cut it with some sugar. And the processing of it, you have to alleviate the acid from it, or it could be damaging to somebody's throat.
I'll take that. I'm going to need something to put in front of my nose. I'm going to the cadaver wing.
Here you are. Yeah, one of the students actually got a coffee latte, and they were angry that it wasn't mixed.
What?
It's where you put the espresso in, and then you layer on top of it the milk, and then the foam, and then a light drizzle. So when you take a sip, you get all of the flavors cascading in like that, and it smoothly mixes it in. It's just a different way to consume it. but when you mix it all together, it's a fucking latte.
Oh, okay.
Why do people like that exist?
I think they just used the word because they thought it sounded cool.
Honestly.
We're going to
Do
be
you know
devoting a
blood
lot more brain
oranges
power to
exist?
Elvin.
Blood oranges?
Yes.
I can put them on our order.
It might be useful as the process is more of a red color.
Oh, so then we don't have to use red dye. Yeah, that's probably healthier.
Looking at the aesthetics of this place, you might want blood door hinges as well.
The uniform was the only thing I had any decision in. And it is like a
Really?
typical barista's uniform.
Feel free to go ahead and add, I don't know, chef's choice menu selection. You'll probably only be able to get away with like 4 or 5 items, but at least you'll be able to add actual food here at your discretion.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Like breakfast sandwiches.
That is going to be lovely.
Croissants, sausage, bacon, ham. You
Don't
ever...
worry, I'm trying to whip them all into shape soon.
Good. You ever know why they call it Uthodurnian bacon, but really it's just ham?
No.
I think it's because they don't want to wait long enough to actually cook it to make it bacon.
But it's circular like ham.
Maybe it's just easier to cut in a frozen environment?
But what makes it bacon?
They
Wait,
put it on a
I
fillet.
know that as gammon.
You know it? What do you know?
That item is called gammon over here.
Gammon.
Instead of ham, it's called gammon.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for all of the instructions. Oh, before you go, I would encourage you to try the Banshee biscuits. They're just buttery biscuits that have a caramelized onion and smoked Gouda inside of it.
Ooh.
That sounds lovely.
And she'll
Yes,
hand over a small
yes.
tray. And it's a tray of like 6 of them. You can tell none of the students have a palate that would enjoy something like this. They're students.
Hey man, when you're a hungry college student, you get what you get.
Mm-hmm.
I would like 1 poltergeist pastry, please. Thank you.
What's the poltergeist pastry?
The poltergeist pastry is a muffin that is shaped like a ghost on top of it, but when she rips it open, you are hit with the astonishing scent of pumpkin spice.
I'll allow it. It's the only thing pumpkin spiced.
Sure.
Hey man, I don't care if your daddy's rich or not. You built a thing in here. It's up to our discretion now.
True.
So here's the question: are you allowed
Cosette
to
is a
serve
basic
alcohol?
bitch. No, we are not. No.
Is there a story behind that?
At one point in time, we were convinced by one of the headmasters of the academy that having the option of alcohol for faculty would be good, until the illusionist students realized that they could make themselves look like said faculty members when they approach, demand their drinks, and walk away. And we had a little bit of a mishap with a lot of mages that were very drunk without any idea how to handle their alcohol.
I feel like that'd be easily fixed if we just had a monocle of C through disguise.
They don't give us those types of budgets.
Okay.
Yeah. And Thunderbrand was very upset, but ultimately it did have to get cut.
He was the one everyone was copying, wasn't he?
He was also the one who suggested it so adamantly.
To be fair, I can see where he's coming from, seeing, well, some of the students so far.
I believe his direct quote was, "If I have to deal with these assholes at this hour of the morning, I ain't doing so sober."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Thunderbrand.
Charming guy. Do you know if he's single?
I don't know.
Okay. All right, so long.
And we now make our way past.
So, you guys swing by the evocation wing to pick up Lily, or what are you doing?
Well,
I thought we were
going
gonna-
to the cadaver room to see what.
Oh, yes. The moment you guys get in there.
I'd like to do something before we get in there.
Okay.
All right.
Let me just see which spells I have prepared for today.
Okay. Animate dead.
Are you trying to put something around your face to? Unfortunately, you can't. I don't think there's one spell that lets you kill your senses, but doesn't count noses.
Yeah, I thought I had.
Find familiar. You go into your familiar senses and just leave them
Yeah.
outside.
Be a gecko that doesn't smell anything.
Oh, yeah, that's good. God, find
Yeah,
familiar is such an underutilized spell. Everybody just goes owl.
I mean, hey, like they can get the help action if it's viable. Usually.
Yeah, no, I don't have it. I
What
thought
were
I
you
had one of those. What's it called? Free zone. No, air free zone. Free.
Oh, the
Air
bubble.
Zone of free air. Yeah.
The bubble. Yeah. That spell. It's a second level spell. I can't remember its name though.
Yeah.
Where you can breathe in the astral sea, but also technically underwater.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, air bubble. I think.
Air bubble. There we go.
Yeah.
So while you guys are walking down there, Cosette will speak a little bit. So I heard that there's a spell called Danse Macabre. Is that real?
Yes, it is a 5th level necromancer spell.
Huh.
It's honestly, it's clearly a spell written in haste. Mainly, it's a spell that allows you to take control of 5 corpses immediately in your vicinity. But once the spell ends, the bodies immediately drop back to being corpses.
So it's only a temporary control over them, not a.
It is a quite literally pulling up puppets by their strings.
Oh.
I don't personally use that spell. I find it not as. It is interesting that that is the intermediary between animate dead and create undead. I find that fascinating, but outside of why that might have been, I do not personally use it. I mean, more often than not, how often are you going to find yourself surrounded with corpses?
I don't
More
know.
often
I've
than you
never been.
think?
I've never been a adventurer yet. But now that you think about it, quite often.
Not that many. At most, like 3. The most was that battle with the Volstruckers in the army situation.
Mm.
That's the highest. Before that, like maybe 5
Bodies in
people
the sewers?
max at once.
So, I think I'm going to try to pursue that spell as my primary focus for adapting a higher level spell for my graduate thesis.
I'm trying to think of what the other necromancy spells at 5th level are.
And there ain't really anything good.
Oh, there's negative energy flood, which if you kill a target, it becomes an undead.
Cloud Cure?
Enervation.
Those sound so deadly.
Anti-life?
See, what I'm interested in Danse Macabre, though, is apparently when you do it, you can also keep all of the recently dead individuals, somewhat capabilities, physically speaking, at least.
I have to double check Dense Macabre. I thought it was just something else.
The stats for zombie skeletons are the monster manual, but they do keep all of their equipment that they had.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The biggest thing is Dense Macabre does not benefit from the Necromancer's specialty, which is adding proficiencies.
It doesn't?
No, the
It gains a
undead
bonus?
Thrall the undead thrall specifies whenever you create an undead. And Dense Macabre, the wording in Dense Macabre is weird.
It stands up and becomes undead. I would rule that counts as creating an undead. I mean, it's a temporary one, but it's an undead.
Right. It's the reason I didn't take it was because the way the spell is written is wonky.
Very fair.
Let me pull that up actually.
I'm looking at it right now. It says receive a command. Each corpse immediately stands up and becomes undead. Oh, you decide if it's a zombie or a skeleton. Does it shed its flesh or not?
I mean, hey, that's a great way to suddenly make it so you don't know who that body was.
Oh, that's macabre. Yeah.
Okay, now I know why. It's because it gets a bonus to attack and damage for your spell casting ability, not proficiency.
And it gains a bonus to its attacks and damage equal to your spellcasting ability. And then what does yours say?
Mine is any undead I create gain a benefit of hit point maximum as well as adding proficiency to my damage rolls.
So it would gain both.
Well, it's proficient. The Dense Macabre is spellcasting ability. This is proficiency.
Yeah, I don't see the word or, and that's the designation if you have to choose. Typically speaking. Alrighty. Well, you open up the door, and she is standing a good, 100 feet or so away. You see that there's this large push of air that is perpetually pushing through the threshold. Who's going to walk through that air?
I will.
I have prestidigitation.
I was just gonna say, can I just bestow curse on myself and temporarily take away my sense of smell?
Does bestow curse hit smell?
At the DM's option, you may choose an alternate curse effect, but it'd be no more powerful than the ones described above.
You know what? Sure. Yeah. Let's make that.
I could do that to Miriam if you like, as well.
It's concentration.
Yeah, that's why they would do it to Miriam. You do it to yourself, and Adendu doesn't need it.
Yeah. Just bestow curse. Just get rid of the smell. I mean, think about it. It's a curse. You can't smell the good foods.
I curse for your nose to run away, so now you can't smell.
Doesn't seem like a curse in this particular instance, though.
I thought you weren't allowed to use curses.
I can use curses. I just can't remove them.
Oh.
Thankfully, bestow curse is a concentration one and not a permanent effect.
Yes. Permanently losing your ability to smell would be awful. Anyways, so you...
Well,
go ahead.
Before we go in there, if there's a lot of moisture, that might make the smell even worse. Maybe we could drain the moisture first. I mean, it doesn't matter if the corpses are dry or wet, right?
How do you propose to drain the moisture?
Well, I say you have this horrid wilting spell. I was thinking we might as well use that.
I believe if I did that, that would turn the bodies to dust, wouldn't it? If it dries them out.
No, it just makes them dry. But it's wilting?
It's 12d8 necrotic damage.
Oh yeah, that'll destroy the bodies. Yeah.
Yeah.
It says constructs and undead aren't affected.
Well, then it
Burn
wouldn't dry them
them.
out then.
I got
It'll-
a question for you.
It'll hit the moisture in the room, though. I think that's what he's. Oh, it says every creature. Yeah, it doesn't hit the area. It's just maybe prestidigitation would unsully, which destroys moisture.
Yeah, I'll just as
Yeah,
we're
so
going in, I'll press.
It doesn't affect the area, just the creatures in the area.
Every
Yeah.
creature in a 30-foot cube centered on a point you choose within range. Yeah.
Basically, the
so-
way it works is it's pulling the moisture to the rest of the area.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
it's
just-
a weird.
I'm used to the earlier version of it. It just affects the area.
Which is
Do
way
you-
better.
Do you
Yeah.
have Tiny Hut as a spell?
Yeah.
I mean, you could use that. Then you get to customize the air, the smell, the quality inside.
Isn't that only 10 feet wide in a circle
It is.
that can't move?
Uh,
I mean, he can see inside the bubble.
I don't really have an interest in going down into this flesh chamber. So
Joey.
I'll just go back up, study this library you mentioned earlier.
I'll go in if you tell me I have to.
You have to.
You do not.
You're not
no
my
one
teacher.
has to go in but me. I need to see how bad this place needs to be fixed.
Can't you just send a familiar or something?
I don't want to put his hands on whatever's on this floor. If they're not embalming the cadavers, I don't think they're cleaning this place.
You see the gecko just.
Joey,
Mm.
would you count moisture in the air as a fog cloud for the purposes of create or destroy water to just get rid of the moisture?
If there's enough moisture to create a fog, yes.
Is
Looking in, is there?
There's a pushing of like a heavy visible pushing of air that's cutting off your vision from inside the room right now.
Oh!
I say that's a fog.
Yeah.
So we're going to the Dark Souls fog, huh? Let's go.
I'll cast create destroy water to get rid of a 30-foot cube of fog.
Oh, that'll encompass the entire room. Yeah.
Just snap.
Oh, well, hang on. I suppose I could just manifest over there and see if I could describe it to you.
Do you grant the sand and all the moisture
I
in the
did
air
not
is
think
gone?
this would take this long. I just wanted to see the conditions.
You could just step in if you want. I mean, that's.
And with
we're
this-
just being wusses. Just this is so yucky.
I'll step
had
in the
my
room after
guts-
doing that.
I've had my hands in literal monster guts. I've helped. I'm going into the damn room. If she destroys the smell, that's fine.
You can't
the
smell
fog.
anyway.
Yeah, for a minute. We're cursed for a minute.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm in the room. I'm in the room.
All
Where
right.
is this room?
As you step inside, you see that there appears to be 4 cadavers on 4 separate tables and multiple grooves for more of them placed inside to be pulled out. Inside of those grooves, there's a total of 12 additional cadavers, all of which look like they've been illy maintained. And the most disgusting portion of all of this is the fact that you see there is a small table with an ashtray with empty cigarette butts sitting there, burnt all the way down, as well as cards. It looks like somebody's just been using this room to hang out. And smoking is not just bad for the individual, but really bad for the cadavers, which should stay sterile.
Are these locks, are these gurneys at least going into like metal boxes?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, how many of these bodies are usable for medical purposes?
Roll me a medicine check.
I'll assist.
Thank you. I know at least a handful of these are gone. 28.
3 of the 16.
Jeez.
They have not
Like,
been
can I
maintained very
salvage,
well.
like, legs and or arms.
It's once any portion of the body is kind of, well, sullied, it's no longer usable. I mean, unless you had some powerful clerics cast some powerful cleric spells like regenerate and shit, but even at that, like, yeah.
Okay, I make sure those 3 are secured and properly put in, and I ask Tulsha to help me get the rest of these into, like, is this place properly ventilated?
The ventilation here is one of the only things here that is actually very decent.
Okay, let's move. I'm securing the good bodies so that they don't get destroyed by what I'm about to do. And Tulsha, help me with the rest of these things. Ugh.
Okay. Thankfully, I have gotten some ogre power on right now, so easy. Also, do you just want me to just flame strike this room?
I don't. That's too damaging. Let's
Fire
just.
and radiant.
I don't want to blow up, damage anything. Let's just.
I mean, it would make a statement.
Oh no, there's going to be a statement. People have been using this room to play cards and smoke. Just need to.
Can I take a look at the cards and pack of cigarettes to see if like anyone might have been dumb enough to write their name on it?
Roll me an investigation.
Am I allowed to put someone on academic probation?
Yes, you're a teacher. 24. You go over to the chair and you look at the cards. The cards don't have somebody's name written on them. That would tell what they are. But you do notice the lipstick. The lipstick on this cigarette butt was blue. And the only one of them that had a slightly blue tint to their lips to make themselves look even more dead was Orenfant.
Wasn't that the first one?
Yep. The one who's been the most progressed within the academy.
It
The one who's in charge of the handling of the cadavers, as Quill Snatcher has instructed.
Mirren, I believe Orenfant is the one doing it. If you come look at the blue lipstick here on the cigarette butt, the one that was in charge of handling the bodies. Do you want me to? We need to put him on an academic probation, I believe.
Concur.
Either that or send him to hospice care for a while. He doesn't get to work with the dead, he gets to work with the almost dead.
I mean, how prevalent is hospice care right now? I think you invented it like a year ago.
Yeah, it's not really a very well known about thing. Most
dead
people
dude
go,
invented it.
"You're old, you're dead," and just
At the very least, I'm going to take this cigar. Tulsha, if you could burn these bodies.
No, of course.
Actually, besides the cigarette smoke, is this place at least presentable looking?
It definitely needs to be cleaned up a little bit around the walls. The drains need to be appropriately reopened and probably cleaned out as well, because, you know, the drains inside of these facilities where you're supposed to drain the blood and fluids, it's pretty important to keep them, you know, cleaned out every so often.
Okay. I'm taking the cigarette butt and marching straight to Quill Snatcher.
Okay.
I'll
Marching-
burn the
Damn.
destroyed bodies.
Marching down the
I was-
hallway. Yeah?
No, go ahead.
Marching down the hallway, you pass by Cosette, who smiles at you as you're walking by. Do you need my assistance with anything?
Come with me.
Okay. Doot. And she just jump.
If she notices, Miriam does not look happy. Like, she's seen neutral, now she's seen mad.
Okay. She just keeps watching you, just curious as to what you're doing. You get over to Quill Snatcher's, and when you open up his office door, presuming you're not knocking, you're pissed off, you're just opening the shit.
I'll knock and then open immediately.
He's currently drinking a scotch. How'd you like your present?
Lovely. I hope you didn't kill anyone for it. We need to talk about Orifant. I believe he's been assigned to the morgue.
Yes, he has.
He has been smoking with the bodies uncovered, playing cards. The drains are clogged with bile, and all but 3 of the cadavers are unsuitable for anything other than burning.
I'll be sure to give him a firm talking to at our next lesson.
Academic suspension, and you need to have the other 3 monitor the other 3 cleaning up that morgue and preserve the last 3 bodies we have to teach the rest of the students.
Please, Professor, I understand you're new to this, but there's a pecking order to how we do things around here. I am more than happy to consider whatever punishment you wish to do, but please don't command me to do anything. And he just keeps lackadaisically drinking.
I command my hand to smack the bottle of gin, and I pull out my whites and bone staff.
Roll me an intimidation roll.
Do
You
I
may
get
use
advantage?
intelligence in place of strength or charisma. If there's anywhere where that is applicable, it is here.
Okay, so it's I'm just gonna roll intelligence because I have a -2 to intimidation.
You're not proficient?
Nope.
Okay, so yeah, straight intelligence roll then. God damn it.
Fuck.
He sees you doing all of that. What would the headmaster think if she knew that you were trying to pull a weapon, a staff out on a fellow faculty member?
I don't know. How does she feel? How did she feel about the same way she felt about promoting the student who was here a week over the professor who's been here 5 years?
Ooh.
Ooh.
She did it.
Cosette in the back audibly goes, ooh.
Damn, did Miriam just cast Fireball?
That shit's viciously mockery. I understand.
Remove curses and removing it.
I understand you're very passionate about this. I will see to that he gets a probation of 1 week.
And he needs to clean the entire section because that was his responsibility to begin with.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Can we also agree if one of our last 3 cadavers becomes unusable, harsher punishment must be applied?
Wait, we're only down to 3 cadavers.
The other 13 are rotten and bloated.
Oh, I need more than 3 cadavers.
Exactly why I've been pissed.
Let's just expel them.
It just takes
You can tell he does not have any cares in the world about that student's progress at all.
fucking god.
Whatever's the least amount of effort.
Do it. Do it.
Sounds like he should join the council for students.
I mean, I was gonna say, I think this sounds like something you should maybe bring up with the headmaster, but Lily's not there.
If only you had an in with the headmaster, you know, being the person that saved her.
Sounds like the backstory for a new villain.
Yeah.
Necromancer expelled from the academy.
Dun dun dun.
He's the next lich, and he's the most archetypic lich you can think of.
Yeah.
I mean, the necromancer expelled for the academy from being a piece of shit.
It's reasonable. Yeah.
I will go ahead and bring this student's academic future to the headmistress.
There's no reason to
I'm already
bother
leaving the door.
her with that. She doesn't just take mundane visits from faculty.
I'm not going to drop the fact that I saved her life.
Okay.
She already likes me more than him.
He will follow you where you get to the headmistress's office, and he is the entire time just smirking and very cocky as you knock on the door.
And can I just say, I'm really glad I didn't get taught by this guy. I was holding this image of this guy's at least competent in what he does.
He is a competent necromancer.
Yeah,
Which apparently doesn't mean much today.
Yeah, Lily knew what was happening, so she redirected you elsewhere. Obviously, this is all part of her plan.
Are you going to let us know over the telepathic bond that this is going to be entertaining and to bring popcorn?
I'm gonna send you three and Cosette to fetch Lily because I don't want to see. This is now a Lyceum matter. She doesn't need to be involved in this.
Cosette seems very disappointed and will go follow your order.
Hey, she'll find out in 10 seconds if things go bad.
So, the headmaster, Lyceum herself, opens the door. She looks over at him, looks at you. Marion, what a pleasant surprise. What can I do for you today? His eyes bug out of his head, and this is where we're calling the session this week. Players, thank you all very much for playing. Viewers, thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.
Dude, I didn't realize